All right, welcome in, people. What's going on? Locker Room Sports is proud and in the house. We're glad y'all could come by and hang out with us for a few minutes of your wonderful, hot, southern summertime heat show number 242. Glad y'all picked us to come hang out with. And if you hadn't ever been by here before, we do this every Sunday. And during the summer like this, not a lot going on. So we just we're going to make a run through these teams and break down the schedule, and we're going to tell you our best case scenario of why we feel like the teams will, be the record that we have them picked to be. Try to lay out a case and make you believe that also.
We want to see how we do too. We want to see how I want to see how good of I am at predicting. We did pretty good last year.
Yeah.
I didn't do good on Missouri, but we picked Florida State to do well, obviously. Mm-hmm. When they go 13-1.
Yeah, I don't got them doing too hot this year.
No, not as good.
I don't know how could they be as good this year?
I don't see any way. They lost everybody.
Yeah,
they got in some good. They got in some good guys.
Well, I think right now ranked. I think where they even ranked at in the on 3 or somewhere. They was like, I don't know, 50 or 60.
Yeah. They got in Roy Dale Williams and Uyunglele.
Yeah. Well, today, guys, we're going to break down some NBA draft, go through a few names that y'all may know. Got some football news, USA, Japan. I got to gripe about that. And also, I'm going to talk about an NFL lawsuit. So y'all come back and hang out with us. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us today. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and like button if you're on Twitter. Go over and retweet it, man. Put it up on your page. We come on here every Sunday at 6 o'clock. Next Sunday will be our off Sunday because this is the off week coming ahead. All the local teams will be off, and talk to some coaches. They're taking the week off. College, it's kind of the last big recruiting week this week we just come out of. I think I'd read that Auburn has their Big Cat weekend the end of next month. Mm-hmm. So things are winding down, and this is kind of the end of summer for football, sort of. And then after you come back from the 4th and that week,
you only got a couple weeks and you
practice.
Yeah.
Like real practice, helmets and
for high schools. Now, I don't know when college, Alabama and Auburn and them will start. August, I'm sure.
Yeah.
High school starts. I had a coach tell me they start on the 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Practice.
I know for sure. I went and visited some of our local guys and went and seen Coach Ragsdale and Bunch over at Spring Garden.
Tuesday.
And City Bluff's coming over there like last year, Knapp, and then went over. So just stuff like that going on. So next Sunday we will not be on. But look for me to do something in the week because I've got something I ain't told Dean about, something I've been working on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The last college football game is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to do a small documentary thing. I'm going to put this together, and I'm going to spend some time with it, and it's going to take me at least a week to finish it and work on it. But I want to make a small documentary, maybe make it, 30, 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a time in college football when we noticed the football game changed. You could tell when the game changed.
Oh yeah.
Before the targeting stuff kind of started, there was one particular game on my radar that I really remember looking back probably 8 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do a special, so just look for it on the page.
Can I just guess one thing? Was it around 13, 14?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Because I've
maybe after Alabama beat LSU.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's just some things happen. I'll lay out a case, and I'll make it a. I'm gonna make it a.
That was the least watched championship. I read that one time. The 2013. It was not watched by me.
The rematch.
Rematch.
Yeah, because they didn't want to see. Well, they knew Bama was going to.
Well, they knew Bama, and neither one of them. I think the game before was 9-6, so they didn't expect the big offense. You know, people will see offense.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm assuming you're saying that they've made sure that there's offense since then.
The game changed. The game changed after this game. Shout out to our sponsor, Warrior Gym. You can go up here and do that. You go up here in town and holler at John, get you a year-long membership. They can run about $150 for a year. Also got tan and bed stuff included, but holler at John at 256-266-4333. Warrior Gym been a sponsor with us for a very long time. Well, first, Dean, let's talk about what about the draft? Did Bronny going? Nobody's with this.
55th.
Nobody agrees.
Yeah. Went to the Lakers though, so he gets to play with his daddy, which was that what they said was going to happen. I don't think his daddy's got long left.
But there's players that, and people shared this on the page, and this is not, breaking news or anything, but. And our opinions are not any different on this topic than anybody else's is.
No.
He didn't deserve to go that high.
No, LeBron Jr., Bronny, he's 5 points a game. 5.
There's other guys that are better.
We don't know that had he played, the rest of his career at USC, who knows? He might have got up to 15 or 20.
No, I don't know. I don't see it. There ain't no way. You can tell if a guy's that guy.
Yeah, and he can play college. He can function on the court, but He's not dominant.
No, he looks like a good average basketball player. I don't think he beats Mark Sears one-on-one.
No. Mark Sears averaged 20.
And 20. He foregone his draft to come back to college, which they're preseason number 1.
They are going to be?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they've got another transfer.
See, and they got Grant back, and
they're loaded.
Also Sears.
Loaded.
Yeah, and they got a little pressure on them this year.
Yeah.
It's easier to go to the Final Four when there's no pressure on it.
It's nearly win or bust.
Mm-hmm.
NBA draft, number 1 pick was the Hawks get Zach. If I say this name wrong, I'll get destroyed. If I don't say the name right, because everybody on here is, all our
Risashay or Risasha or
some of our watchers are English majors.
Risasher.
Some of our watchers have a master's degree and doctorate degrees in English. Because you don't say Farquhar right, the guy played out of Oklahoma. If you don't say it right, people they get offended, man. Like, that's my team. You didn't even play football. You probably didn't play football in high school. Get out of
I don't understand the offense taken.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. No, I've never seen this name in my life. Risaccher.
Well, I'm just saying, Risasher. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it because it's French. It's probably Risachet or something like that.
Risachet. Is that better for you? Would you like some Dijon? Was your Parmesan?
Boy, France got about 4 people in the top 15 there, didn't they?
Yeah, number 1 and number 3. Got a kid from Kentucky.
Yeah, I saw that. Reed Shepherd went to Houston.
Yeah, made it to the Rockets.
Went 3rd. Other players we may know, that Klingon from Connecticut went 7th. Mm-hmm. Dillingham from Kentucky went 8th. Edey went 9th to Memphis, and the shooter from Tennessee, Connect, went 17th. But now the rest of them, I hadn't heard of them.
The Wizards pick up the number 2 guy from Australia, Alex Sarr, 7-footer.
7-footer.
He's another one. Of course, we talked about Edey, and
I'm assuming these draft experts know what they're talking about because you know how good Wembanyama did well.
The Hornets got the 6th overall, which was another Frenchman, 6'9" forward, Salaun, Salon. Because I know
tough.
With French they put the little line over, which means you do or don't pronounce it. Now, you doctorates in English, y'all please hit the comment
section. You do
section.
something different.
If you got a doctorate in English, a lot of Oklahoma fans seem to.
I guarantee you that number one pick's name's not Rhys Asher. I mean, that's what I said, but I guarantee you that's not it.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Jeopardy when they do a French category?
No.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Ouvre la vie. I mean, you're like, what? I don't even know what they're saying.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Now, I do like their language.
Know the song that Pink and them girls did. You know, I don't know. Now, this is a topic that this come back earlier in the week, so it's kind of the news of it has kind of died down. But I still have to say I'm extremely bothered that Football USA, the 20U team, loses 20 to 40 to Japan.
Which I didn't even know they played football over there.
And here's the thing about it. Here's why and somebody else said this. I've been, I don't remember who, some of the guys. How can we really get tore up about it when we didn't even know it existed until they posted a score?
I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Why are you mad now? Like, you ain't supported us ever. It's kind of like WNBA. Like, now you're going to talk about us because this one girl come. You never watched us before.
Right.
So it's the IFAF football, and the games are every 4 years. Japan will now face the back-to-back champions, Canada. That's who they'll play now. They play actually today.
So this is just for Olympics, kind of.
Yeah, it's a 20U. You know, if you're 20 or younger, you can.
Wonder who some of the players playing for.
Well,
the States were.
Past players are Kenny Pickett and Mac Jones. They played on this team.
They have before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those are some past players. So I didn't hear anybody talk about players that are on the team now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Dean, couldn't we just took I mean, I would have thought we could take a Benedictine, Mills Creek, Thompson.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5. IMG.
And beat Japan. Well, Japan must be playing now.
Well,
I just didn't know.
Did you see any highlights of it?
Yeah.
It don't look. I mean, it looks like Americans look like they're like middle school football.
They probably didn't.
It looks the guys that's this like a. I'm just disappointed terribly. If that's all we got to field the stupid team, don't even have one, man. Are you kidding me?
Now, was that the first game of this tournament?
No.
We won a game?
Yes.
Okay. I was just shocked. 3 touchdowns. Wasn't even close.
They're probably playing right now. And it's IFAF football. They do this every 4 years. And obviously Canada's they're the ones to be. They're back-to-back champs.
Well, let me ask you something. Is this just one of them deals where they put together a team and they go to practice for 2 weeks and then it's time to go play?
Well, I mean, you only do it every 4 years. I'd assume not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got 4 years to prep for another team, how do you not get?
I'd like to know who was on that team. Let me look that up.
I didn't know any. Nobody said any names like there's mentionable people like, Caleb Downs is on the team, or, if you could just put Junkins, he could probably play offense and defense. Guys, I'm telling you, you could have took the backup guys for any of these top 5 teams. It's just embarrassing. Incredibly embarrassing.
I'm trying to.
Man, come on.
IFAF.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to. He's going to dig some names out there for IFAF. I don't know any of the players. Nobody's mentioned it.
Okay. I'm just going to. Well, I'm assuming, and I think Matt's assuming the same thing, that if Japan beat them 41-20, they're not great.
No. Ain't no way.
Okay. Well, they don't really football roster.
Yeah. And it named the coaches, and Jake and them went through the coaches list, and they fired everybody. They said, "You're fired. He's fired. His mustache is fired." How do you? There was one or two of the coaches' names that were.
I'm having some trouble here.
Familiar with at all, but they're playing today.
It's not really showing me much.
Japan will play Canada, so we'll find out. I guess if Canada can three-peat in the IFAF football.
It's saying the same thing you said. Mac Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, Kenny Pickett, which I'll bet Chase Young, they won it then.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I don't know, not Kenny Pickett or maybe early Mac Jones, because there you have to be 20.
well, yeah, that's
He's
true.
been in the league for 2 years, so that makes him 20. So, well, see, Canada's won it back to back, so that's 8 years.
Okay, well, I think I may have something here.
So they hadn't won it in 8 years.
8 years. Well, it's just telling some formers. Look at some of these formers.
Like 2015 would have been the last opportunities. They could have even maybe had a chance to even win it.
Trayvon Diggs, DeAndre Swift, Chase Young.
See, those are the names you want to hear on this thing.
All right, this year, Kendall Milton, Georgia. He was okay, pretty good at Georgia. Tyler Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Spencer Sanders. Guys, I've not heard of
90%.
Jordan Watkins, Ole Miss. He's Ole Miss's second receiver. He's not their top receiver. Cooper Beebe. Jalen Simpson and all SEC. I don't think they got.
They got a lot of second team guys on just a few teams.
Right.
The few that they do have that we may know are just kind of
That's
secondary guys. They do probably start.
The role players.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's obviously they're not.
Well, like we just did Jordan Watkins the other day, and he was a receiver for Ole Miss.
We got to do better than that, guys. Come on.
He was not their – Trey Harris is their best receiver, so he was like their second or third best receiver. Good players, but not the elite. I didn't notice many of those guys' names. The running backs. Something's got to be better. I mean, you got 4 more years now after today's game. If this is the championship, game exactly today, they do play today. So we got to do better. Yeah,
we can't. It's America. You can't lose in football to Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, are they out there like getting revenge for, they're still fired up about Pearl Harbor or something?
I don't know about it. That's a smoke. That's tough. 41-20. What if he bet on that? I mean, I would have took US. I would have put some big money on that.
Well, I watched the highlights of the game, and Japan went up like 7-0, I think. And then we got pinned back deep in the end zone, wound up with a safety.
I'm looking at the score here, 41-20.
Fumbled the ball in our own end zone. And just couldn't move. Kept it close. Then the game, the score don't represent the game. You got away from them late. Okay. Till halftime and after, the game was a touchdown game, and USA was making a comeback to win the game, and turnovers or whatnot, and it just got away from them. And Japan scored off one of them, put them up 2 touchdowns, and then I think they stopped America, and then they had to punt back to Japan, and they break one on some missed tackle by some guy that looked like a 7th grader out there. Terrible.
Do we need to start getting players from over there? Sounds like they're pretty good.
No.
Or did we just play bad?
No. It ain't a whole lot different to me than half these. Like the reason these Frenchmen are coming in the NBA because the league's soft.
Mm-hmm. So you think that's what it's all about?
It's soft. It's got to have something to do with it. We got to get our moxie back.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more to that than just going out there and getting stomped by Japan. No disrespect to Japan, but Japan's not known for their football.
No.
Now, basketball or baseball, definitely.
Baseball, yes. Basketball,
I wouldn't think.
I don't know of any, but baseball, yes. Their Little League World Series. I mean, I've seen their Little League World Series teams be.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
Wrestling, college wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also professional wrestling like WWE. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they have. That's where Hogan got his leg broke. They used to run that old shoot wrestling where it was like, I mean, they really beat each other up.
But I don't ever remember
football.
No, I've never heard anything about football in Asia. Yes, in Europe, yes.
Now, if you'd have told me the Russians would have beat us in football, I'd go, well, okay, them guys, probably some mean guys, Chechens.
Maybe South America, too, where they play rugby.
Some Germans,
Australia.
Some Chechens or some rough old guys.
Yeah, Ukrainians or something.
Yeah, some 6'3" Yugoslavian.
I think those guys might be tough.
Yeah.
Croatia. You understand if Croatia beats.
Okay, we played them tough. Hang in there, guys. But Japan.
Hungary, we're okay with that.
if we next we lose to like Taiwan
Yeah.
in football, we got trouble.
I was watching, which Seinfeld we think's funny, but Jerry was complaining about somebody having a terrible attitude, a woman, and the guy goes, "She's from Finland, man. What do you expect?" So apparently they're pretty tough over there. Cold.
Can't lose. Cannot lose to Japan. Come on, guys. NFL lawsuit, Dean. The Sunday ticket lawsuit has settled. $12 billion, and they said they may multiply that times 3.
12 billion?
Yeah. Now here's the thing. They're not going to pay this right away. They're going to keep trying to roll this over as long as they can. Because just think about it. They can't take a hit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just drop $40 billion.
Yeah. Here's 36 billion.
U.S. District Court of California decides lawsuit settlement in favor against Roger Goodell and the NFL for the Sunday ticket antitrust lawsuit. Now, the restaurants, people, whatever, they had to buy this Sunday ticket to show the games. Well, they couldn't bundle all of the games and just have one team to buy a package for just their team. There was no option. And some guy wrote an email and said, "Hey, you can't just bundle that together and not give people an option. It's actually illegal."
It should be.
Same thing they come to find out they had some backdoor dealing with allegedly here. Well, not allegedly. I mean, the NFL lost the case. So dealings with DirecTV.
Wow.
They had some backdoor job, and
they say that's what's happened. And I'm not getting off in a rabbit hole, but what's happened with stock car racing is, people can't afford the tickets anymore. But if the NFL goes that route, I'm talking about with individuals, and an individual just can't go to a game, and you got to do all this season tickets. I know that's not who it's aimed at, but looks like that's where they're headed eventually.
Yeah. Well, like if you're an Applebee's store, okay, the Sunday ticket, and everybody knows what it is. You buy it on your TV. It's a package. It's
right,
$300 a year.
Yeah,
and you get all the games for Sunday on this one.
Yes,
Sunday ticket.
You just want to do it that one Sunday.
Well, maybe they don't want to. The Applebee's in Pittsburgh maybe don't want to have the Las Vegas Raiders game.
Right.
They wanted the option to be able to buy a Steelers package because they're a, Bill and Joe's blowhole restaurant up in Maine. Probably could care less about the Houston Texans.
Yeah, they won't watch the Patriots or the Jets.
But if they did, they won't have a choice. So that's what this is about. So it's going to cost the NFL billions of dollars.
Well, that's what I was afraid. That's what I was talking about, fans going to games and everything. Is it going to come to that eventually? Hey, I want to go watch Atlanta play Oakland. Well, if you go watch Atlanta play Oakland and St. Louis, you can get this deal.
Yeah. They're trying to do package stuff, but here's what's going to happen. You can't let that kind of money roll out because who's going to catch the kickback on that money. The consumers will.
Oh, yeah.
So now your game tickets, if you want to go see the Falcons play, well, if they had to fork out these billions of dollars, well, they're going to recuperate it somewhere.
Yeah. $300 to go watch Atlanta play Cornwall up here. I mean, seriously.
And guess who that is? It's us. You will have to pay, instead of $100 walk-in, sit anywhere ticket in the NFL, it'll be $200.
$200 or maybe more.
Yeah, it gets passed to the consumer.
Against anybody. They're playing 0-11 team.
The consumer catches the crap. That's the same thing with these silly Bernie economics. We need to raise minimum wage to $37 an hour. Okay, that's great. Now
37.
Now I'm just saying something.
Never mind. I thought they really said.
Well, they want 20 or 25. At which, to try to keep up with inflation from the poor strategies of that team, you do need to make about 20 an hour. But here's what happens when you do. When you start doing that, well, then you're only cutting 15 hours a week. Well, now you can't hardly afford it. Today, I just seen a menu thing on a podcast. Olive Garden prices are going up. Go to New York and try to buy a Big Mac. You know what a Big Mac costs in New York? Yeah, about $10.
Really?
Yeah. So pay people more money. It's going to come back to you. So the NFL, if they dump these billions of dollars, they're trying to appeal. But what they need to do is just give people a choice. If they just want to buy a ticket just to watch LSU, and just have a ticket for LSU, which it's not college, but it's coming. I told you, how long have I been talking about?
Oh, yeah, you have been.
I mean, we already know WWE's going to Netflix first of the year.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for a couple of years at least.
And we know that college ball and stuff, there's games going to be sold. Peacock, we know they're going to start buying in. Apple TV. So now, I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen within 2 years. Maybe not this season or next. But when that 16-team playoff starts, they're going to sell those playoff games to Peacock and Netflix. And if you don't have a subscription to them, you can't watch that playoff game.
I mean, you can go to somebody's house, but you better hope they have it.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that commercial where those guys are all upset and because they missed the first quarter because their TV went out. They didn't have the subscription. You remember that?
Yeah.
Fansville.
Yeah. That's where it's headed. So these are just times that I'm laying out here. I'm telling you, things are fixing to change.
Again, this is not a rabbit hole, but Provino's is kind of like Olive Garden. I know, and they give a free meal on your birthday.
Yeah, like most places. A lot of places do.
And I've noticed that over the last 5 years, they've gone up. Since COVID, they've gone up $5 on everything. I mean, you could go up there and get Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo or something for 14 or 15. It's 20 now.
Well, here's the thing. It's no different. We'll go on to our schedule stuff. When you have this idea, the liberal idea that we need to tax the rich. Rich people need to pay their fair share of taxes. I agree. But let me tell you what happens when you do that.
It hurts you.
Well, they leave the country and go to Mexico. So now your government that's barking orders, rich, elite people that ain't even drove a car in 20, 30, 40 years. They've been chauffeured half all their life. They're going to demand that those big companies pay more taxes. And then when you go up there and fill out a job application, have a job to feed your family, well, they've left the country because taxes are too high. So to grow business, I know we're doing first grade economics for some, you can't tax those people. You can't tax the super rich like that. Now, should they pay their share? Yes. But they're
you
liars.
Can't overtax it.
But they're liars. They cheat and steal. When Hillary told Trump, well, you cheated on your taxes, you jumped all loopholes. He said, yeah, I know, because they're the rules that you made. And you do the same thing. I do it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do it.
Because companies that have money, have you ever got a job from a poor person?
No.
Okay. So the same thing with this NFL ticket stuff. If they have to pay all this money back, it's going to come back to the consumers. And when you start having to pay for these games, like a playoff game, if you don't have Peacock, you're not going to get to watch the playoff game.
Right. And ticket prices have already gone up.
Well, because stuff costs more. How much does it cost to buy a bag of chicken fingers to put in the place that they sell food in the concession stand and
oh gosh, yeah,
at the Falcon Stadium? Well, that bag used to cost $100. Now it's $200. Well, used to you buy a little bucket of chicken fingers like this for 10. Well, now it's 20. Well,
yeah, somebody asked me, Saban had that great reign down there, and you didn't go to any games. I'm like, I couldn't.
We went to.
I went to a couple, but
5 maybe. Yeah, maybe
why didn't you didn't go to Ole Miss? I don't know. How?
Well, those are $180 to $200 just to get in the nosebleed.
Just to get in. Yeah, no, you're not good seats.
No, you're $1,000 to get a good seat. Starting $1,000, and most people I'm not.
Now before he came, but I'd rather them be good and me watch it on TV than them not be good and me get to go some.
Because it's not really comfortable anyway.
No
offense.
I went when I had my accident in 2005. I had a brace on my leg and went.
No, that's terrible.
You talk about horrible.
You can't get in there. You're boxed in there. And I'm 6'3", 6'4", 280 pounds, 290.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable for me.
No. I would advise not to go to a college football game. So, not really. I mean, maybe a bowl game.
We'll see how this plays out with these tickets and these special apps, and it's coming. I'm just old Uncle Matt's told you here first.
It'll be here, huh?
Texas Longhorns, we're going to break them down. We'd like to get into that.
Yeah.
And, we're going to talk about them. And if I can get right here, click the right thing. First of all, let's thank our sponsors. Lloyd's Legal Service. We have just one job, and that's to protect our clients. Call Scott Lloyd's Legal Service at 256-266-1416 or find them at lloydslegalllc.com. Great people. Just enjoy being around them and talking to them. It's the kind of people you want handling something you need. All kind of situations, call and get an appointment with them.
Yeah, they are good folk.
Cherokee Eye Clinic, J.R. April McKenzie. Find them on Facebook at CherokieEyeClinic.net. And on Facebook also, they got a Facebook page. You can call and make an appointment, 256-927-4030. They got all kind of frames, and they've redone the office, and good people, good folks.
Great folks.
Now, LSU Tigers, ladies and gentlemen.
LSU.
They are expected by a lot to be about a 9-win team. Now, I'm going to try to lay out a case here. We're going to talk about a tiny bit of last year, which is not crazily important, but it is somewhat because it has some relevance. But they are a pretty good bit of a different team this year. They went 10-3. They lost 2 conference games last year, 6-2 in conference. And Ole Miss and Bama, of course, their losses.
Oh.
But Daniels is not there. Your Heisman quarterback.
He's gone.
He's not there.
Neighbors is gone.
Lost some of your receivers. Some of your backfield's a little different.
Well,
offensive line is going to be a little different.
One of their main backs went to Ole Miss. And wasn't very strong. Well, I mean, I'm going to let you present your case, but last year they struggled on defense.
That's the problem.
But I do think Kelly's a pretty good coach.
I do too. But at some point, they have 6-6 offense and defense back.
12 starters.
Yeah. I think they got their kickers, so probably put them at 13 or so back total.
Well, now, before you get started and tell us, I did see one publication that had them at number 7.
I'm just telling you.
In the country. I mean, I'm like, what? How? Oh, okay. But I'll listen to this and tell you what I think. I'll be honest.
I'm trying to, and I usually bump them. On most of these we do. I usually bump them a win.
Right. You do. You're pretty good about that.
I try to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to consider things like road games.
You got to.
Were you off the week before? Was the team you're playing on the road off the week before? And who did they play the week before?
Right.
Those things matter.
Well, if you play, if you're playing Kentucky at Kentucky and Kentucky played Bucky's the week before, they're not going to be beat up.
They played Kent State or, South Carolina State.
They're not going to be beat up, and you just got through playing.
You just played Alabama.
Or
Georgia. Or Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Their schedule's not terribly terrible, but it's not great. Last year, 2023 LSU Tigers. Now, of course, we know they lost that open one to Florida State, 45-24.
Mm-hmm. That was a good game till the fourth quarter. But that's to an undefeated team.
Yeah, and we found out later that Florida State they were as advertised. We thought they were going to be a 10, 11-win team.
But, at one time during that game, we watched it together. We thought LSU was going to beat them.
Yeah, I did.
They came on in the fourth quarter. They beat them in the fourth quarter. That was a good game.
LSU quit kind of. They had some quit juice in them. So, and of course, they lost that Ole Miss that we watched to replay it last week, I think, 55-49.
Great game.
Shootout.
Great game.
Now, Bama put it on a pretty good 42-28.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a good game, too.
But now, they did win their ball game, played Wisconsin 35-31. Now, this year coming in, we'll pull the schedule up and look at it. They don't have Texas. They don't have Tennessee, Missouri, or Georgia. The opportunity for LSU is there. The opportunity's there. So
schedule's not horrible.
I'll say this up front: they've got to win 10 games. They cannot digress.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
He's won 10 both years.
Yeah, you can't go back.
So he won 10 11
because they won the SEC his first year in.
First year in.
You can't go 9. And altogether a 9-win season is not a failure.
No, gosh, no.
But for them, it kind of is because you're digressing. Okay.
LSU's been pretty good most of my life. I mean, they've had a good football team. There was a time there in the 90s when they wasn't real strong. But it's been a long time since they've just not been any good. And I don't expect them to be bad, but I don't expect them to be number 7 either.
Jeff Ederson, hello. JB, Kevin Moore. Jeff said that Gene Smith retires as the AD at Ohio State.
New AD.
Breaking news.
It's going to change some things. I don't think he'll affect the football team, but it could.
Well, they've been shoveling out the money. Back to LSU here. They've got to win 10 games. They've got to win 10 games. Okay. This is their opportunity here and now. So here's how. Okay. Last year, of course, they had the number 1 offense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. 7,000 yards. Okay.
Leading receiver in the conference, Heisman Trophy winner.
Last year's team is what it is. Jeff Bicuspid.
What's up, Ballard?
Appreciate your kind words there, sir. Wide receiver Kyron Lacey, 550 yards. Mason Taylor, the Hilton guy, he's probably going to look for him to be a deep ball threat. And the Liberty transfer, the C.J. Daniels guy is added.
He's going to be pretty good.
He's a good
Lacey's good. I remember Lacey.
Good ball player. 2019 running back. They still have, I think, 2 guys on this team that played and won a national championship.
Really? Wow.
That would be
with Burrow in that bunch.
Now, when he's a senior running back, Williams, that's probably a good thing. Did you know he was a walk-on?
No, I did not know that.
Wow. I mean, what a story. He's a 5th-year senior, and he's a walk-on, number 27. Jackson, also part of the backfield. Emery Jr. is a 5th-year guy, the way I understand this. And Starr, Caden, and Durham, and he is a freshman. This is their freshman kid. This one I want to talk about. He's from Duncanville, running back.
Yeah, Duncanville, Texas. I know Texas has got a stud in from there. Must be good.
Well, this Durham kid was the running back last year and his quarterback was Keelan Russell. He led 11 MVP, committed to Bama.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
See how we tie all this together? That's why you got to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
So you Bama commit quarterbacks. His tailback is at LSU now. He's a year ahead.
Well, I bet they won the state, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or did they? I finished 8th.
Was it him or the other guy? I read about so many people.
I think you did say Russell and them won the state.
Okay. So far, running back room. We'll put a little check. I think the running back room is going to be fine.
I'm looking here to see who that is. I think that's Neighbors. Yeah.
Biletnikoff?
Yeah. No, Jamar Chase. My bad. We're talking about LSU. That's why I was looking. I didn't know if it was.
So running back room is good. Talked about some receivers. I think, you ain't got to have – everybody don't have to have 5-star receivers.
No.
Just catch the ball and don't drop the ball.
That Kyron Lacey's a good receiver.
Just catch the ball.
Yeah.
You don't have to break every tackle for a touchdown. If it's second and like you run the ball and you get 3, it's 2nd and 7. Throw you the ball, a little 8-yard small route, catch the ball. And if you get 8 yards, it's a first down.
Well, they put out some good wide receivers in the last few years.
Absolutely. Now,
you got Neighbors, Chase, Jefferson. I mean,
the 7 or 8 guys that's been through Bama in the past several years.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody don't have a room like Michie, Waddle, and Smith and those guys. So you don't have to. Everybody don't have to catch it on a slant and break it for 40 and score.
No.
So I'm trying to give LSU a chance. Now, I know the Matt that does his podcast over there. He's just creating content. He's saying stuff like, Bama will be lucky to win 7 games probably. Milrose, a joke, has no idea why he has any hype. DeVore is not going to be a good coach. He just
did he watch the Georgia game last year?
He's slamming. He's trying to get clicks. He's trying to build his show. And some people tend to want to build their brand by saying idiotic stuff. So people go, hey, that's crazy. I want to watch that video. They'll go on their phone and say, Bama only wins 6. Well, Bama fans are crazy. They're going to click and go, let me
they're
watch
going
this
to either
idiot.
think it's a joke or they're going to think he's
insane.
A butthole. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's the LSU guy and he played there. But
no, really,
he feels like they're going to win the SEC and have a shot at the title, and he's insane. You're either just creating clickbait or you're just stupid.
Well, I mean, like I made the comment that I like Kyron Lacy, their receiver, but I mean, he's not any better than Neighbors and Chase and Jefferson.
No.
I don't know.
He had 550 yards last year, not 1,500. Okay, those elite. You got to be 1,000 or above to be an elite receiver. Am I pretty close on that?
At least 1,000.
Okay,
unless you average about 30 yards a catch, and you only like 30 catches for 900.
I think receivers.
They're good.
Running back room, you got a leader like Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely a dog. If he walked on, he's a senior leader running back. He's got to be a dog.
Got to be.
All right, offensive line. Your leader, probably expected to be for sure a first-round guy, Will Campbell.
Say that's big. First-round
Will
lineman.
Campbell. Emory Jones, probably at right tackle. Your center, maybe the redshirt freshman, DJ Chester, and then one of the other guards, Miles Frazier. So this some of their linemen. So they got some guys back. These
about
are
3 or 4 backs.
It's not terrible, but when you have good experienced guys, and I didn't even write down their size, but I remember looking at the sizes, and I don't have to. If you're watching this show, you probably watch sports. You probably didn't come by here after a crochet match and think, I think I'll see what locker room sports is talking about.
No. Not after you've been to a Tupperware party. Right?
No, you're probably not watching this. So I'm saying that because if you know LSU football, their linemen are all going to be about 6'6", about 350 pounds.
Yeah, they got good linemen. Dogs.
Big old rough and tough.
Which will make them better than we're thinking. But, I mean, I'll get into that in a minute. One of their best running backs transferred to Ole Miss.
Yeah. Now, so offensively, they're scrappy. I mean, this first game they're going to have USC. They're probably going to have to score 45 to beat that team like they did last year against FSU, which didn't turn out well for them. Defensively, though, their punt game was not very good.
Mm-hmm.
Special teams just was not good. Now, they got Blake Baker.
Mm-hmm.
He was a defensive coach from Missouri.
Right.
Now, Baker's defense, I think it said only allowed less than 5 yards a run.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's over here running the defense at LSU now.
Which they had a tough year. I'm actually looking up defensive core.
Their line, Jacobin, Jalen Lee, Jones, all these guys, Dean, are all 300-plus pounds. Perkins, elite pass rusher. And do they just grow Perkins? Perkins is not a new name for LSU.
No.
Is it not? I mean,
it don't seem to be.
It don't to me neither. It seems like there's been some Perkins down the LSU. LSU fans, y'all help us out and tell us if you had some other Perkins. Also, Greg Penn. Now, so up front, they're going to have some big old guys. Now, can they move, and how well are they going to play? Because last year their pass defense was 118th.
118th, guys. Now, that's out of 130. But how many of those guys they got back? How'd they do in the trend? Oh, no, never mind. I'm letting you do it. I'm sorry.
The pass D last year, defensive back Major Burns, Sage Rhines, and Gilbert. He came from A&M to give them some help. Abraham the second is a safety, and also Brooks. So these are some guys that have some play time. They're not all starters like all of them did start, but they have played.
Right.
They've come in and have played some.
They got experience.
Yeah. Now, cornerback, I have to freshman PJ Woodland. These are some names I'm putting on here. Him and the Ashton Stamps.
Mm-hmm.
They're guys that they've seen in spring. These notes come from writers that are at spring football and watch them practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving you these names from them. They're going to be pretty good. Some cornerbacks, but the star guy is going to be this Zay Alexander.
Yep.
Played a lot of football. He knows what's going on.
Start last year.
Yeah, he's going to give quarterbacks a lot of trouble. And when Max Miller comes to town, when they meet in Las Vegas to play LSU, this guy here may have his hands full of that.
So this is their best DB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Zay Alexander.
the keys to this team, they've got to win that first game.
Where's it at?
It's in Vegas.
USC. Okay.
It is in Vegas.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to make a determination on it yet. I think they can win it, of course. But it's a good matchup. You think?
Yeah. They've got to be able to stop the run.
118th in pass defense. Whew, wow.
If they can stop the run game for a lot of these teams that we're going to look at right now, we're looking on the schedule. So if y'all got your phones or if you're watching on desktop, scoot you in close there and look, put your eyeballs on.
Now, we got to assume with the work habits of Brian Kelly and the experience, they're going to be better on defense. But is it going to be a lot better?
It better be.
But even at best, if they make vast improvements, so they're still going to be, what, 50th?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not good enough.
No.
But they won 10 games.
They won 10 games. They had Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, right. That's not there. Now, I like Nussmeier.
I do too.
I am a fan. I am a fan.
I kind of panicked when he came in last year, and Alabama did good against him. Yeah. But I thought, hey, he come in one game the year before and threw for like 300 yards when Daniels went out.
It's not bad. He's not bad.
No, not at all. His daddy used to be Alabama's offensive coordinator. Or that's his uncle, or is it his daddy? Doug Nussmeier. Somebody tell me that. I don't know. He's kin to him.
Right out of the boot here, we're going to play 2024 at Vegas. Looks like the game's going to be 6:30 Central Time on ABC, podcast listeners. And if you're listening to this on podcast, we do appreciate you guys. Stay tuned and hang in there. We still got stuff to do. Like I said earlier, we will not be on live next week. I may have something going on. I may put something up Sunday night at 6, but it won't be a live show.
Right.
Because this is the coming week ahead for starting tomorrow is going to be, it's the big off week for most all football.
High schools, yeah. And from what I know, in Georgia college. And Alabama.
It's kind of time to wind down the workouts. Take a break, and now we're fixing to come in after the 4th, and we're going to hit it.
Yeah.
We're going to get helmets out. I mean, some kids aren't have helmets. So now the game too, Dean, y'all look there on your screen. They're going to play Nichols. That'll be at home game.
It's a win. Sorry.
Now at South Carolina.
South Carolina's got a good squad. They're not great, but they're not bad. They got a lot coming back.
It's 11 o'clock game. Okay.
And I did see the other day where experts are predicting South Carolina to win 7.
And so while we're looking at that, I want to show you.
But it's there.
At South Carolina. So where's South Carolina the week before? These things matter. That's why you subscribe to this channel.
I did not do that. Oh, gosh. They go to Kentucky.
South Carolina is at Kentucky the week before.
Who is 20 starters strong from last year, and including transfers.
So let me think here. We just got to talk about game 1 first. Can they win that game?
I think so.
They're not good. They don't open well, man. They don't
think
play.
So.
He don't play well opening.
But, I'll be honest with you, and I know we're not odds makers, but I'd have to give USC a slight edge on the line I'm talking about on the betting line. 3.5 maybe. I think USC's got an edge on them. A small one. But I think that's your favorite. Of course, USC, he did good. He did good bringing players in. Riley did, didn't he?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're going to
have the players.
They're going to be okay. They haven't recruited very well.
I'd say they're not great on defense either. So,
but with the new coach Baker from Missouri at LSU,
yeah,
I'm going to say he has put things in another gear, and Zay and those guys in the defensive back and your cornerbacks at LSU, I'm going to say they get things in gear.
I think they'll not be. They might upset USC. I believe it'll be an upset. I don't know.
I think that Miller will have a hard time not expecting, because the people assume that LSU, like a lot of people have, that defense is not going to be as good. I'm gonna give them a win there.
I could see that. I could see. That's a coin flip. I wouldn't be shocked if either one of them won.
I'm gonna give them a old dub.
But
here.
definitely, I do not think that's a insurmountable task to beat USC.
And the reason I'm giving them a win is, again, defensive coaching change. I think they're going to be better on defense.
Yeah. Well, they've got to be.
Nickel, they will be at home to play Nichols. Well, definitely. And then they're going to travel to South Carolina. South Carolina game, Dean, is at 11 o'clock on ABC. Podcast Lenters, ABC at 11. So in the height of the heat of the hot in South Carolina, September the 14th. I don't care. I think South Carolina's I think they're barely a 7-win team. I don't care where that game's at. I just think LSU can out-athlete them, and I'm going to go – a lot of times when you get things that are kind of close, let's think about this. This is just me, listeners. I think about quarterback versus quarterback.
Mm-hmm. We're not 100% sold on South Carolina.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
We've talked about him.
Yes, we have.
With the goggles.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great, but he just ain't played.
He's not got a lot of experience. No. Neither does Nussmeier, but I think
he's got more than him.
Yeah.
Nussmeier's not – he's been in college a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around and around.
He's learned.
He's been around.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a win at South Carolina. Now, UCLA lost coaches, players left. Their quarterback, Dante Moore, left and went.
That would look like a good, tough game on paper.
That would beat them by 3 touchdowns.
I don't think it will be.
Well, they ain't got no coach. I mean, they lost
USC, UCLA, and South Carolina. There could possibly be a loss in there, but I don't think there's going to be no more than one.
No, it won't be more than one. If anybody beats them, it'll be USC.
Mm-hmm.
That is a flip game. I could flip on that game.
USC.
It wouldn't be hard to convince me that USC beats LSU.
No.
They don't open well. And this team, man, you got some new pieces here, and you got new coaches.
Plus, they're going out to Vegas.
Like Oklahoma. You got the same great offensive line coach, been there since 2013, but Bumbayer or whatever his name. I'll get it wrong. These doctorate majors in English at Oklahoma will kill me for not pronouncing his name right.
Hey, guys, it's hard to pronounce some of the. You'll see one I got here in a minute.
I've never seen these names in my life. And I've read books from all over around the world. Even the Bible is some of those names.
Some of those names are tough. Yeah.
So
Rahab.
UCLA, yes, win. South Alabama, losing their head coach. Of course, Womack, he's a defensive coach at Bama now. Right?
That could be a catch game, but I still think LSU wins it.
And South Alabama is coming to Tiger Stadium. So
no, never mind.
Mr. Fluff Both will have a safe trip, and we hope he has 500 yards rushing.
Yeah.
We're pulling for them. That'll be a win for LSU. Now, October the 5th, start of the month, October, they will be off. So let's roll on down the page. Now, here comes the train.
Mm-hmm.
Right there in the middle, October 12th. Ole Miss at home. Now, you seen, I just told you that's the one they lost last year, 55-49. We watched the replay. It was a shootout. It's just going to be a dad blame.
I just don't think they can handle Ole Miss.
We both think Ole Miss is going to be on a run. Now, let's do what we do. Let's be fair here, Dean, and let's see who's Ole Miss play the week before LSU. They will be at South Carolina.
South Carolina's got well, we already said that. South Carolina has one of the toughest schedules. I think we only picked them to win 6 or 7. Let me look on this sheet here. We've got it right here. South Carolina. We both had 6.5 for South Carolina.
Here's where we continue with the law case here. I'm trying to be good old lawyer, Uncle Matt here. Does Ole Miss traveling to South Carolina affect them then going again and traveling to LSU?
That could be a catch game for Ole Miss.
I think it is their catch. That's their one loss I put on them.
It could happen.
I think I have them losing to Ole Miss, to LSU.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. Definite. That's a definite opportunity for a letdown. And that would be a letdown, wouldn't you agree?
Well, LSU's got to win 10, but
and they're going to be seeking revenge. I mean, because that was a hurtful loss last year, 55-49. I'm sure it went in overtime too. I remember that.
So.
They did that in regulation.
Yeah.
LSU's going to be better, but darts got a lot of darts to throw. So
he's got a lot of players to throw to. He's got. Well, we've been through Ole Miss.
I don't necessarily pick who's going to beat them, but I think through this game right here, Ole Miss, I do think they're going to have at least, after they play Ole Miss, they're going to have at least one loss somewhere.
Yeah, they got to.
I don't think they're going to be undefeated.
So I got them still undefeated right now. I got them beating USC opening week. I think their defense, because of Coach Baker, is going to get them figured out here. Nickel State at South Carolina. Kill UCLA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0 headed to Arkansas. I'm not even going to study about that.
Arkansas is going to upset somebody, but I don't think it's going to be LSU.
October.
Well, we got Arkansas.
19th. I like 6.
Not much.
They're terrible.
5.5.
I ain't even going to spend. I'm going to spend about as much time with Arkansas as I do Vanderbilt or Mississippi State.
I think that's our 3 lower tier teams.
None of them's going bowling.
Yeah.
South Carolina and Florida will be lucky to go bowling, in our opinion. And the other teams.
Yeah, just because Florida and South Carolina's schedule's so bad. It's brutal.
So as of right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. LSU is going to make a bowl game. They're 7-0. They just went to Arkansas and won that game. But now here's that game. They're going to have to then go to Kyle Field. Go to Texas A&M. So who's Texas A&M play the week before they play LSU? They will be at Mississippi State, so they will have pretty much homecoming game.
I think Texas A&M's going to upset them. I think they go in there with 2 losses. I'm talking about after A&M. They got two losses.
So I agree. I'm going to put them with a loss at A&M. I think Coach Elk is going to have a good stab at it. It's going to be at home. It's kind of in the middle of the season. This is your last game in October, and everybody knows in November what's that mean? It counts.
Oh yeah, it's crunch time.
You can't lose no games at end of October, 1st November, because now you're jockeying for that. You're trying to stay in that top 10.
Right.
So I'm going to give it to A&M. Then they're going to take a week off, and then after the week off, November the 2nd, then we're going to come back the 9th, and LSU will host. Now, it's a flex schedule right now. We don't know because of TV companies. Is it going to be at 3:30? Is it going to be at 2:30 or at 7 at night?
I think it'll be a night game.
That would be a good guess. And being at LSU, I'm sure Coach Kelly is pleading with, I'm sure it'll be at ESPN, and I'm sure game day will probably be there. I would probably say
Bama.
Yeah.
I don't like it when Alabama goes there.
Actually, I think they're better there than they are at home.
I just don't. Well, and that may be a false narrative, but
because it's hard to play.
Got it in my head. It's just a terrible place to play.
It is the worst place to play, period.
Yeah.
It's the toughest stadium considered by we talked about it this week, and I know you're not a video game player, but we've talked about it this week. EA Sports, had Texas A&M as the toughest place to play.
Oh, come on.
Now, Todd, listen now, guys. Look right here real close. Todd does not even own a game console. I don't know if he has, probably since a Nintendo when he played Mario.
I did have the Tiger Woods.
Okay. PlayStation?
Yes.
1.
2.
So he ain't had to play a console in about 20 years.
Yeah.
So his opinion would be way different than mine. But would you consider Texas A&M to be the number one place to play?
Love affair with them?
I don't know.
Guys, they had them winning it 2 years ago. They had them ranked in the top 2 years ago. They had them ranked in the last year. They had them winning it.
Well, Des Howard did.
Desmond Howard. 2 years ago, they had him in the top 10. And I asked Matt, I'm like, why? This is after they lost Kellen Mond and all them. I don't understand what's going on with A&M.
It used to be Notre Dame. You remember all this just crazy love affair for Notre Dame? There was this crazy, huge love affair for Notre Dame, and that's just kind of –
it's kind of gone, and they're actually decent now.
Yeah, and now it's A&M. So
it's always somebody that's not doing well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. All right.
I got after Alabama, I've got LSU with at least 2 losses.
All right, they're 7-1 going into their second off week, and they're going to have Alabama come in tonight to Baton Rouge.
I don't think they beat Alabama.
Okay.
Not this year.
All right, I'm going to call L. I'm going to say that puts them at 7-2 now. Now they're going to go to. I think they can win the rest of these games. They got Oklahoma at home. They got Florida, though. It was at Gainesville.
That might be an upset. I won't say upset alert.
Oh, Sideshow Billy is always good for 1 or 2, but definitely one game that you go, there's no way. Because right now in this part of the season, let's see.
Florida's not going to lose all 8 of their ranked opponents to all 8 of their ranked opponents.
Let's see who Florida has the week before.
No, it's probably somebody brutal. I think it's probably played the Falcons or the Chiefs.
They're at Texas.
Oh, my gosh. It's tough. They got a tough year. Look, they got Texas, LSU, and then Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's Florida's schedule.
Well, the toughest one in the country.
It is. I'm going to say LSU gets Sideshow Billy up to Swamp, but I'm going to put a little question mark out here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if Florida pulls a skunker, because Florida is another place. That's a
tough place.
Top 6. I'm going to put probably Bama and Auburn will probably be 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Toughest place to play. Auburn's it's a terrible place to play. And I know
Auburn's very hard.
And I know Alabama fans, you're going to say, well, they ain't beat the ranked team in 2 years. Alabama's fixing to beat them. They've already beat them 4 years in a row. I know.
They could go over and dress out their JV, and it'd be tough.
It's the place and it's the fans. That's what makes it hard.
It's terrible.
Now, if you're going to rank teams by how many games they win at home, then, Alabama probably would be one. But A&M number 1 on a video game?
I don't understand that.
They're like 22-24 at home since they joined the SEC.
Well, what it is they had all this great recruiting, but half those guys have transferred out.
They're gone, man.
They're gone.
The head coach left too. So,
and I think we'll find, and I think Elko will do fine, but I think we're going to find out that Fisher's probably not as bad as everybody thought.
No. Other tough places to play: Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, I guess. Oregon, definitely. Oregon's definitely got to be in your top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be.
I always heard, I'm serious. I'm not joking here. I heard Boise was a tough place to play.
Well, that field's weird color, so nobody's brought that up. And it is. It's the eye trick.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a place that's hard to play. And some of the boys on Craney Company, I think Blaine or maybe Dave, David brought this up. Don't forget about when the Inner Sandman song comes on at Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
That place
I saw their stadium
is wild. It's wild.
Nebraska used to be impossible to play at.
That's a tough place to play. It's historic. They're traditionally, they win most home games. And if you want to go by fans, like if we're going to pick Auburn, if we're going to pick Auburn to be a top team for stadiums, because the fans, it's not because they win. I mean, they've had some of the worst offense and defense. They ain't even had a first-round draft pick in 4 years.
Yeah, but they're still had Alabama beat.
But their fans pack it out, and it makes a difference in the game. So if you're going to pick Auburn for that, I don't think it's fair if you don't pick Nebraska.
Yeah.
You have to, don't you?
Oh, yeah, it's a tough. Oh, it was. I mean, and it's probably still is. Because Nebraska's not had winning seasons, but how many games have they barely lost over the years?
Yeah.
I mean, me and Matt totaled it up. It was ridiculous. It's a 25 that they've lost by less than a touchdown or less. So, I don't know. I think Florida can definitely beat them.
I think that's the one. That
could be a catch game and upset.
November the 16th. So we finish out with, we're going to say they lose to Bama, but then they go to Florida catch game. We're going to pick a win right now, but you could talk me into saying Florida beats them right now. If somebody just come on here and comment and say, no, they're going to beat them, and here's why, and give me one good reason, I'll go, you're right, I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
You could change my mind that easy. So I got them finishing 10-2. Could they be 10-2?
I got them going 9-3. I'm going to go 8.5 on them.
I got
them going 9. Somebody, I personally think, scroll back up there for a second. I think A&M.
I can't go 9.
I think Alabama beats them. I'll just go on and say that, and I'm probably being a homer, but I do. I think USC or South Carolina or one of them gets them. And I think Ole Miss gets them. And possibly Florida. So I'm going with 8.5. But now I don't think it's not stupid to say 9.5.
LSU. I'm gonna put. God darn.
You're gonna go 9.5.
No, I can't. I can't. I just don't think they have the.
But their schedule is very favorable.
It's not terrible. It's not just
very favorable.
It's back end heavy. After they start from that second off week, they're gonna go to. They got 3 tough games. They got Bama. Florida's not a hard game.
I just don't think they can go 10-2.
Oklahoma.
Man.
God, man, they're right in the middle.
See, Oklahoma may get them.
I know.
I think it's smart for us to go 8.5, 9-3, 8-4. What do you think?
It's at LSU, and it could be another night game. And Oklahoma's going to come to LSU at night.
Clemson's a hard place to play.
Oh, sure, yeah. Right here in the middle, man. Let's just take okay. We got them going. I'm going to pencil this in, and I wrote.
I don't have them doing no worse than 8-4. No way they go 7-5.
No way. They're going to win 8. They're going to a bowl game. LSU punchy ticket to go to a bowl game. And let's just look at this from a broad view. Let's just back up, and we're going to do Texas right here in about 2 minutes. Give me 50 seconds. Let's look at LSU from a broad. USC game, it's a pretty mid game. I think it's okay.
It could go either way.
At South Carolina, yes, man. When it's at night, I just told you when that sandstorm music hits and it goes dun 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 dun.
South Carolina's upset some people there,
and they're playing that music and the towels are going.
So what if this quarterback's the greatest player in the SEC this year?
And he's good.
Yeah,
I covered the guy. He's good. So okay, so we got 2 reasonably hard games.
Now you don't agree that UCLA is going to be a hard game anymore? It would have been.
The coaches are gone and their quarterback's gone.
Yeah.
No coach, no quarterback. Chip Kelly's at Ohio State.
Usually that would be a tough game. UCLA? What are you talking about? We got to play UCLA third.
But it's at home too. All right, so we'll say USC's a tough one. South Carolina's a tough game.
Could go either way.
Ole Miss right in the darn middle, October 12th. That
definitely could go either way.
The next 3 is going to be, and then they go at Arkansas and then go at A&M. They're not winning all 3 of those games.
I don't think so.
No way.
A&M can beat them. I think they beat Arkansas.
They're bad. Uncle Lou had them picked to lose to Arkansas, and he said you could switch Arkansas and A&M whichever way you want to do it. But I can't even jokingly or half optimistically pick Arkansas.
We'd say we had Arkansas with 5.5.
They're
or
bad.
4.5. It might have been.
They got a lot of trouble.
No, 5.5.
And Coach Pittman
at best.
And Coach Napier on the hot seat. So Ole Miss, A&M, there's 2 more games. So that's 4. We've just named 4 tough games. Now, coming in after their second off week, what is really the tough games of this last half? Bama and Oklahoma?
Yeah, and Florida. You got to count Florida as a tough one.
Florida's probably going to be
they may be 4-5 by that time.
They may have to win this game to win 6 to even be bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Because
their schedule.
Yeah. So where are they going to be at?
They have no let up.
Where are they going to be at that time of year? They start with Miami. They got A&M, Mississippi State, UCF. That's easy. Then they got Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss.
They could be 4-5. Legitimately 4-5. But 4-5 with 7 into the semester tests.
So we have 4.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we got 1.
These ain't pop quizzes.
2, 3, 4, 5. They got 6 maybe sort of tough games. Pretty tough.
Before. Oh, you talking about they could go either way.
LSU.
But I don't think they go 6-6.
LSU? No. But that's 4 tough games. But they're probably going to win half of those.
I think that's 9-3.
So that leaves them losing. Here's how I'm trying to do this. They got 6 hard games. I say they win half. That leaves them losing 3. So that puts them at 9-3.
And on paper, everybody's going to say, well, they lose to Alabama, Ole Miss, USC.
So lastly is Ole Miss. Is LSU going to be improved from last year?
No.
Okay.
I think they lost too much. I think they'll be improved on defense, not offense.
Think they're going to slip a trip.
Yeah. I mean, but that don't mean that they're worse because this schedule is harder.
It is.
It's harder than last year's. But isn't everybody's? I think we're fixing to see a let up on you should have done better 8-4. Look who we played.
Yeah, you
come
come
on,
over
shut
here.
up.
We just added Texas and Oklahoma to the
Yeah.
conference.
And I think that's not going to go as, you see these posts, and I know, boy, Texas, Oklahoma's in for it. I'm not really excited about them two being over there. They can cause some issues.
Yeah. Where are they recruiting at?
Yeah.
Oklahoma's decent. Texas is having a good class. They're top 10.
I don't think they're going to have a rude awakening, especially not Texas.
Oklahoma was.
And I wasn't real overly impressed with what I was impressed with your presentation of Oklahoma, but I'm not impressed with them as a team. What did we have them winning? 7, 8?
Let's look at this. What are we talking about?
Oh, 6.5.
I know.
6.5 for Oklahoma.
I know. They're a 7 or 8 win, and some of the other riders got them winning, 8 games.
How?
I don't know.
I mean, okay, maybe 8. No more than 8.
No, there's no way. You can't sell me on it.
Everybody can't go 8-4 in the conference.
No, because you can't piece together that team and come to this conference the first year with the quarterback is great. I love him, man. 6A state champion. If you make a movie about a football player, it's Jackson Arnold. He's great.
Right.
5-star, played in Gare, Texas. 6A state champ. He's the kid that comes in the room with a big buckle and the boots and the big hat, and he's just that rough, tough looking kid with the striped shirt on. He looks like a football player. He's the one you make movies about. He's got the gold chain with the eagle on it.
Mm-hmm.
But their line, man, and their offensive line coach, he's got to get it together.
Right.
So let's see where Oklahoma is on schedule. And by the way, congratulations, Dejon Lee, Dean from Mission.
Lockdown. Going to be that
Bijo.
Lockdown Kool-Aid, Dre Kirkpatrick type corner.
He is 6'3", 195. Once they work him out, he'll be.
He'll end up being a safety over there.
He'll be over 200 pounds.
I think that's pronounced Viejo, Matt.
Yeah.
Mission Viejo. Yeah. And they're loaded. I mean, they're a powerhouse nationally,
And
not just statewide.
Let's go right here while you're doing that. We was talking about teams. Have they already got Oklahoma considered in the SEC? I got to back that out. That's SEC come right now here. No, what in the world is going on? College football teams. We want to do. Just want to look at Oklahoma. Have they already got them moved over here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, actually, as honestly, tomorrow is the legal binding day. Oklahoma and Texas are now SEC.
So
tomorrow,
if they wanted to tonight, they could get out of it.
Well, it costs them a bunch of money.
Yeah. But if they wanted to go Big 12, they could do it. Hey, we're going Big 12 and ACC. Boy, that makes some people mad.
Well, that would be too much of a darn why does this give me such a hard problem? I just wanted to see their darn recruiting class. Ads. Look at these ads. Subscribe here. Click here.
I think Venables, who I like as a coach, is in for I think he's going to have a tough time winning there. I mean, he's going to win, but I'm not talking about I think you're going to have a tough time being in the national picture.
College football recruiting. That's what I wanted. Team rankings. All right, guys. Team rankings for the day. I try to talk about this every Sunday. Right now, Dean, as of today, now in your recruiting class, this is on 3. This is not 24/7 or rivals. On 3 seems to be.
It's pretty good.
More people use it. Okay, I'm. Everybody has their own opinion.
You can count on them.
Ohio State 1, Alabama 2, LSU 3.
It don't really matter if they don't win, but 8.
Georgia at 4, and Oregon at 5, Notre Dame 6, Clemson 7, A&M at 9, Florida State at 9, A&M was at 8. So see, Florida State's not 60.
Yeah, they don't come up.
Thought they'd having a bad year, and there they are. Auburn's dropped out of the top 10 as of today.
Well, Oklahoma, see, it changes so much.
It does daily.
Mm-hmm.
When you have kids come in or decommit. So Oklahoma is 10 now.
That's big for them.
Yeah.
Because I just don't.
They have 11 4-stars, 19 overall picks.
When Matt went over them the other day, I just wasn't very impressed.
Tennessee's at 12.
I was impressed with Tennessee.
Texas at 16. I'm just giving you some SEC ranks if you can't see this for podcast people. Missouri's 18. South Carolina 22. Kentucky 23. Just some other. Arkansas was at 32. Ole Miss 36.
I figure that'll go up.
Mississippi State 37. Florida at 40. So those are some of your picks, and I'll slow down here. Auburn had an offensive lineman and a D-back, a 4-star decommit the other day. I don't know why.
And I keep hearing, man.
I don't know what's going on at Auburn.
I keep hearing Lewis is going to Auburn. Boy, I don't know if it's Auburn people talking that up or what.
They are.
But I'm reading it every day.
They want him bad.
Every day.
Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Oregon are your top 5 right now.
Do you think he'll go there?
It does seem that way. It does.
Well, somebody's got some inside info.
But it's going to cost them a bunch of money, and and Auburn just talked about that during the offseason. And Coach Freeze could have bought a quarterback, and he decided not to buy a quarterback.
You think it's because Juju's coming?
Well, he didn't know that then.
Well, that's true.
Back then.
They said he wanted to make his other players better, right? He wanted it better players around the quarterback.
Yeah, and it's just hard to sell a team that you know has only won 6 games last year, and they ain't even been a ranked team in 2 years. They ain't had no NFL draft first-round picks in a while. Kids want to go whether you like it or not. I'm not trying to hate. I just give statistical, knowledgeable facts that Auburn fans know. Kids want to go win.
They do.
And when they go to that trophy case room in Bama and they walk upstairs and they see like 1921 Rose Bowl, they see 1940 something, and they see 1960s and 64, 65, 66, 67.
It's
early
intimidating.
70s, during the 80s, not so much. In the 90s, when Miami was running, they beat Miami those years. And then in their life, while they've been born, these 19, 18-year-old kids, that's all they've ever seen is Alabama win.
No, I mean, I understand why a non-Alabama fan is tired of them.
And you go walk up the stairs and you just see all these NFL first-round picks. And if you're a receiver, you're going, well, why would I not want to come here? And yes, Coach Saban has done a fantastic job. He did do a good job.
Was that fireworks?
Yeah. But here's what, and I need to bring this up. I wanted to do I nearly did a whole special, a spot on this, like a 10-minute spot. And I want your opinion on it too.
All right.
DeVore has just way exceeded recruiting this year. They're number 2.
He's doing a lot better than people thought.
Did you think it?
No.
I did not either.
But I also read an article the other day that said Alabama's upgraded in coaching by Saban quitting and DeVore coming in. Come on now, that's a little hard.
I'm not going to say that.
I mean, that's almost silly.
But if you get a guy that's hungry and he has put a good staff together.
Yeah.
And obviously from leaving like Coach Roach and their other guy, obviously he's done that on purpose.
Right.
Obviously he's got this Coach Morgan he's brought with him, the guy that's doing a lot of their media stuff. He's smart. They're playing the game and they know how to play it. And if he can take a 30th ranked I think his highest recruiting class at Washington was 28 and take them to play for a title.
Well, this guy's never lost anywhere.
Could he take a number 2 recruiting class?
I would think.
You know,
what did he like 106 and 11?
They're going to say, well, he ain't caught big games as he coached. Well, Freeze beat Bama twice, yet he lost to him 3 times.
Yeah.
Or lost to him twice, too. And he lost to Vanderbilt twice. So if we're going to prop a guy up, let's just tell the whole story.
Yeah.
It's not like Hugh Freeze is some elite coach. It was just the best pick to Auburn to get because of the situation they were in. Now, am I saying the board's better than Freeze? I don't know. They never coached against each other.
I don't know.
We're going to have about
We'll know soon.
Probably about 4 or 5 years to tell. Because if Freeze loses about 2 more of them to games to Bama, Auburn's had 5 coaches in the past 5 years, right? Because Cadillac stepped in, remember?
Oh, I forgot about Cadillac stepping in. So they've had.
So when you go to this.
Malzahn, 4. They've had 4.
When you go to as a recruit and you go to a school, you want to see consistency.
Right.
And the other kids sell the other kids. So my point about what I was making was DeBoer, is this staff better than Saban's staff? Is it better than the staff Saban had last year?
Possibly, yeah.
Yes, I agree. It is better. Saban ain't had a good staff, Dean, in 2 or 3 years to me.
Well, Kevin Steele was about ready to be done. Reese
wasn't filling in the spot.
Wasn't very experienced.
No. Golden.
No, I do think he did a good job.
He did okay.
Yeah.
Pete
He
Golden
adapted to what they worked.
stepped in, filled in some time. He's at Ole Miss now, Golden. And but since like Brian the Ball and those guys left, or O'Reilly from the Texans come to town, it's been a while. Bama won it in 2020. We're going into 2024 season, 24-25, and they ain't won it since then.
Right.
I think this is a better staff. But why was Nick successful?
Well, because the good players come there. And he works hard, too.
Well, but
and he's very intelligent. But he also had the best players.
But how do you get the best players? Because when he come to Bama, they were under they had several different coaches in the past.
They got a tradition there.
That's what it is. And I can't get other people to realize that. Even
though they had not done great in a few years, they still got a tradition.
That's
kind of like Kentucky basketball.
Yeah, it's just that's why kids come to play at Bama. That's why I don't ever see Auburn finishing over Alabama in recruiting.
No, not anytime soon, I don't think.
I don't think ever. It's just not. It's only been Auburn since 60, 57, 58.
No, they went undefeated in 57. This is before the 50.
I mean, it
51.
was mid-50s.
Yeah.
It was Alabama Polytech for about 40 years. And then the other 150 years before that, it was Men's Methodist College. And it's just – and kids recruit other kids.
No, they do.
A top receiver, these guys are going to fix and go over for Texas. Why did Isaiah Bond want to go play out there? Because he wants to play with Quinn Ewers.
Exactly.
Why would he not? Because players want to play together.
Yeah.
That's why when Keelan Russell won the Elite 11 MVP, they put him on the mic and he picked that mic up and he said, "Hey, Cunningham and that other wide receiver, 5 stars, come to Bama and play with me."
Yeah.
And they're going, well, why wouldn't I want to go play with another 5-star or Elite 11 MVP quarterback? Why would I want to go somewhere and play with a crap hole quarterback? That's why Auburn, finished my point till we started with Juju. That's why they want him so bad. Because if he comes, he'll attract other players. And if you get a receiver, then you can start building your line because game's won up front anyway. Right. But does Kirby Smart, does Georgia not deserve some? Why are they not feared? This is another topic. This just hit my
They're probably
mind.
getting to where they are.
Nobody runs to the corner. Josh Pate said nobody picks up their sandbox toys and runs to the corners when Kirby Smart comes in the sandbox.
I don't know why, though. What's he lost in the last 2 years? 3 games? 3 years?
Yeah.
Not many.
But when Nick Saban came in the sandbox, people run, try to run out of the playground. It's not fair to compare the two because one's been a head coach way longer than the other one.
Right.
And I think Georgia fans, this may be why Georgia's not feared too much because I think there's some Alabama fans, when nobody's looking and they're not playing Bama, they put on that old Georgia hat and go, "Come on, Kirby, where were you?" Because he coached with Saban so long. Bama fans really respect Kirby.
Oh, yeah, they love him for the most part.
So if you you need to hate him because who's the most hated team in college football? It's Alabama.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Why? Because they win.
Yeah.
Who's the most hated baseball team?
The Yankees.
Because they win. And they're not winning right now, by God. They're terrible.
Are they not doing good?
They're not doing good. So I'm just saying, these kids recruit other kids,
Oh, yeah.
Auburn, it's going to be hard. They're not going to finish above Alabama. But don't try to. Just be your school and sell your brand of football.
Well, it's like we said a while ago. It's such a rivalry that Auburn don't necessarily have to have better players than Alabama to beat them.
No, I've seen it the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, last year they should have beat them last year. I'm sorry.
No reason.
Nowhere near the talent.
No.
4th and 31.
Do you win on that play? He shouldn't even come to that play.
No.
If homeboy don't drop the punt, they'd probably win the game.
Oh gosh, yeah, they would have.
And Georgia fans, y'all will be feared one day, but y'all just been relevant here the past 5 years.
Five, yeah. Before that, it was just constant. You ain't done it since 1980. You ain't now that nobody can say that no more.
Right.
Especially after the second one.
Yes.
Maybe they could still say it after the first one. That's the first one you won since 80, but now you've got 3 since 1980. You can't say much.
They're relevant now, but to us, people that are 45 and older, Georgia's not relevant. They were never. All they've been is they tried to always bully Bama, and they just could never. Their overall record is not even close in the rival.
Well, what got there until they won it, and I had a friend of ours from Cornwall. He said they're the best team in the country that's not won it since 81. They're the best program that's not won it.
Yeah, sure.
And they were like that for 42 years?
I know.
Everybody'd say Georgia's the best program that's not won a championship.
Because they were in the East and you had to win your conference. And who'd you have to beat?
Mm-hmm. Florida or Tennessee.
Or Bama.
Oh, yeah, or Alabama.
Yeah,
but even when they were in the East there back in the 90s.
I mean, to play for it.
2000s.
Yeah, they could win the East. Mm-hmm. But to win the SEC.
Oh, yeah, you got to beat Bama. I thought you were talking about back in the day.
Well, but
when Manning was there.
Yeah, it's just how it is. So no knock against Georgia or Auburn. We're just saying Bama sells itself, and Coach DeBoer, my final word is Coach DeBoer don't have to be great. Alabama is a dynasty.
Yeah,
it's been in the prestigious games in the 1920s and 30s. It's played in Rose Bowls that other teams. Auburn's first bowl game was a Bourbon Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
In
50s.
Yes.
Early 50s.
That's their first bowl game ever. Bama done been game 30 years before that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I ain't going to go to history. If you want a history lesson on Auburn and the geographics, I'll do something after the show. Because I can tell you geographically why. Well, first of all, I'll tell this. I'm going to shut up. The capital was Tuscaloosa.
Right.
Civil War.
Yes.
Those houses, some of those buildings are not there now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that stuff's there. The Civil War stuff was in Tuscaloosa. The troops for the Civil War, if they got whatever, or the meetings for generals, was there.
Mm-hmm.
The capital's not always Montgomery.
Right.
It was Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
So people are there. Jobs are there. It's a bigger area.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could say, why is Fife's smaller? Yeah, but if you compare them to a school like Thompson, it's a big city. There's a lot of kids.
Right.
So that's kind of why.
I understand. Yeah, and it's locations big.
Kids want to recruit and play together. Mm-hmm. And these recruits here, Texas.
Coach
Sarkisian has, portal-wise, has brought in some kids. He's got a quarterback. And I want to ask you this before you start about Quinn Ewers. Are you a Quinn Ewers connoisseur?
I like him. I probably like him better than you do, but I don't think he's unbelievable. He's a Bama killer now. I'll give him that.
Somebody in the comment section help me why Quinn Ewers is great.
I do think he's above average, but I don't know if I'd put him as elite. You think he's elite?
I don't.
You may be right on that.
Jeff Anderson says LSU will win. They'll lose to spoiled children, Ole Miss, and Alabama be a toss-up. Chris and Clay. What's up, Nicholas? And the Yankees are 54 and 32.5 games behind Baltimore. Okay, so
but they've been on a losing streak.
Oh, man, yeah. I'd read something the other day. So I think Texas is – Sark's a good coach, but
I think he's excellent.
Just not a. I hadn't seen Quinn Ewers play a lot of games.
Well, we got hurt the year before last. All right, so Texas Longhorns. Now I've got them doing very well, but you'll see why here in a minute. They got 12 starters back, but they added 5 starters from the transfer portal. And we're going to go over this right quick. Offensively, they do bring back Quinn Ewers. He's thrown for 5,600 yards in his career. And to be honest with you, 2 of his best games he's ever had in his career were against Alabama.
Because people get up to play. I mean, you want to beat the best team. You want to give them.
And then that's not just hearsay. That's fact on quarterback rating. they lost both running backs, or they lost their main running back, which was but they kept C.J. Baxter and Jaden Ballou.
Good. Baxter's a dude.
Jonathan Brooks. Yeah. So, but they lost him. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, but they got Baxter back, who is not a starter, 670 yards. Jaden Ballou, 400 yards. Those two will go back and forth. Ballou, 6 yards a carry. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Baxter was like all high school conference.
See, he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he was great.
All right, I got 4 linemen back, which me and Matt's talked about that. Did anybody lose a lineman?
Yeah, some did.
Not many people.
At least 2 or 3.
Well, they got 4 back, 4 starters. So that's where they're going to be pretty good. All right, the big losses for Texas, though, are at receiver. They lost Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Jatavion Sanders, and a guy named Jordan Winnington. But they got 4 starters from other teams coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not second-team guys from other teams. Starters from other teams.
Starters.
Yeah.
Got Alabama's leading receiver, Isaiah Bond, who me and Matt were big fans of. Yeah. 64 catches, 1,000 yards in his career.
Second-team All-American.
Played in the Final Four. He did what Matt said. He just looked at his buddy, Amari Nablack, and said,
yeah,
come with me. Ewers can throw, man.
Let's go get it.
Milroe's not going to throw much. He's going to throw 20 times a game. This guy's going to throw 35.
Yep.
So he went. All right. Silas Bolden left Oregon State. He's got 80 career catches.
He's pretty good. I like him.
Yeah. Silas Bolden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started 2 years.
Yeah.
Oregon State, what was they, 9-4 last year?
Yeah, maybe.
Houston's wide receiver, Matthew Golden's got 75 career catches for 1,000 yards. So they got a starter from Alabama, 2 from Alabama, 1 from Oregon State, and 1 from Houston. Now, the big question mark there, though, Matt, is Ewers is not used to these guys like he was Sanders, Whittington, Mitchell, and Worthy.
Well, they've had the spring.
They did have the spring, which all of them were there.
And then they'll start here in a few weeks. And
who knows? They may be throwing every afternoon.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All together. I mean, Quinn may call. He meant, let's say, they can't do but 3 at a time. Okay, well, he calls Isaiah Bond and Silas Bolden and says, meet me over at the field.
Yeah, just go to the park and hang out.
There's no coach there. When they know all their routes.
Grill burgers and hang out, just what dudes do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, honestly, I'm not a Texas hater at all. You can see the hat back here on the shelf beside me. I'm sure they're dedicated enough to want to do something like that.
Well, see, I think that's what a lot of players do now.
Yeah.
I still say that's because this team right here we're watching, this LSU team that won it. Well, no, this ain't the one that won it. The one with Burrow, he had such a good repertoire with those guys. There's no way they just developed that in August.
Well, he had been there, see.
Yeah. And the offensive coordinator that came in.
is great.
So that's the offense.
Brady.
So I don't know. I still think personally,
offensively sound good. We got 4 guys back on the line.
I just don't think it'll be as good.
Running backs
is fine.
Baxter, I like him now. Ballou's good too.
Ballou, yeah. And I love that name.
We checked the boxes of LSU. We went through the offense. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good offense.
Defense, they got a guy or two that's going to be called every Saturday. He's going to have some tackles.
Got 8 guys back on defense.
That's pretty good.
One of them is a transfer. They had 7. One of them's a transfer. Anthony Hill, linebacker, 67 tackles, 8 for loss last year. Here they got a hard name here. David Gabinda, 109 career tackles. D-line, Ethan Burke, 9 tackles for a loss. Linebacker, Baron Sorrell, 88 tackles, career, 15 for a loss. They got safeties, Andrew Makuba from Clemson back. He got 143 tackles in his career.
Whoa.
Terrence Brooks, corners back, 3 interceptions. So both corners are back.
Brooks, I remember his name.
Malik Muhammad's back.
Remember that name too.
31 tackles. And other safety, Derek Williams. They're young. Texas is young. They're back.
So even though they're going to be good this year,
17 starters.
They'll still be good again next year.
That's the key. That's it.
Keeping them together.
They're going to be good next year because Baxter's a sophomore. Blue's a sophomore.
If they don't hit the portal. That's what's. But see, Michigan held it together. You saw them 5-year seniors they had on that team.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Golly, man, no wonder they won it. You had some 24-year-old men.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It makes a difference, guys. It makes a difference.
But I'll be honest with you, and it may change, but I don't think right now Bond, Bolden, the Black, and Matthew Golden are as good as the 4 that left.
No, I just can't put them up there. Maybe one of them is as good as one of the other ones, maybe, but as a group,
no way. There's no way.
No, you just can't. Don't do that, man. Worthy, those guys are all Americans.
I mean, they're first round draft
1,000-yard
picks.
receiving, 1,200, 1,300 yard. You know,
Now these guys got 1,000 yards in their career. These guys had 1,000 yards in a year.
Yeah.
And that, not taking nothing away from yours, but that made him pretty good.
Yeah, it makes it easy. When you're throwing a Jerry Rice, it ain't real hard.
Well, Texas only lost 2 games last year. They lost in the Final Four, and they lost right at the end to Oklahoma on that slip play, right?
The rivalry.
Yeah, I remember you got mad. You said, how do you not cover that? That guy was just standing in the back of the end zone. Gabriel won that game for him, though.
Yeah.
But listen to that. That sounds pretty good.
So there's the case. You've laid out the paperwork. There's the foundation.
But it doesn't sound unbelievable.
But it don't have to be. Here's what I'll say to back up my – I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just damn.
But you're fixing to find out why it is good.
Because you don't have to have all those. Man, Michigan, how many names did we know? I remember doing preseason on them.
Oh, God, their linebackers are great.
And Herb Street, and then we went through names and we're like, who's that guy? Was that guy pretty good? Well, last year he was this. Well, but he's been there 4 years. Oh, okay. Nobody, no, stop it. Nobody picked Michigan to win last year.
No.
Stop that.
No.
Don't
Maybe later in the year.
Yeah. No, right now, last year, 2023, July, you picked Michigan. Don't lie. Don't tell me that because we all had Ohio State winning it.
Oh, yeah. Ohio State or Georgia.
We didn't have Bama winning the SEC. No.
They were at LSU, didn't we?
You don't have to be – those names don't have to blow off the board at you. The quarterback has to be good enough to get the job done. Mm-hmm. It needs to have at least a 79% QBR. Your receivers need to catch the ball, and he will. Blue and Baxter, those are good running backs.
They are very good.
4 guys up front, and defense, just don't give up 40. If you
they're going to be pretty good on defense.
Stay under 40 and give me 7 touchdowns. So the defensive coach saying, I'm going to keep them under 6. I'm going to keep them at least 6 touchdowns or less. Can you win with that? An offensive coach is going, I can deal with that. I think I can score 7 touchdowns.
Well, and I didn't say nothing about this. There's a couple of freshmen come in that they're expecting a lot of. And guess where one of them's from? He's an edge rusher. Duncanville.
There you go. So the running back at LSU,
the quarterback that's going to
Bama. So obviously Duncanville is not a bad. Well, I can't believe that Keelan Russell. Who is that? He was going to SMU. Bama got them. Boy, they got a good one. He's going to SMU because he's playing at Duncanville. They're good. Okay, case proven. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Now here's why I think not because of their players. I think their players are good enough to have a good year.
That sounds like a 10-win team.
That does. But here's going to. This is why I know it's a 10-win team.
Let's look at the schedule.
All right. And I think Matt will agree with me, and I think y'all will too. All right. They start out at Colorado State.
Who?
They're not going to lose to Colorado State, y'all.
They wasn't bad last year.
No.
But they don't have the same team. I think their quarterback did. I'm not joking. Their quarterback was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he's the coach's son.
Well, I think they ended up playing Colorado well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Then they go to Michigan.
2:30 ESPN. The Longhorns open August the 31st. Mm-hmm. So they're not even September. They're going to play a Saturday, October 31st at 2:30 ESPN. I will not probably watch that game, but I may because I just love football and I'm just ready to see it play it. Then they go to no, that's good.
The Big House.
They're going to play at Michigan.
Man, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Michigan lost too much. I don't think they lose that game. I don't think Texas loses that game.
They better not lose that one. Texas better not.
That's on paper to be a good game, but I just don't see it. Do you?
Game of the day, Fox. That'll be
at the Big House.
Probably Joel Clatton will probably do this game.
I just don't see it. I mean, I don't see Texas losing.
But don't be surprised. I'll do a Michigan spot if you want me to, because I've watched Clatton talk about them.
Yeah, we can do one.
They're not bad.
But they're not like they were.
No. But they're not going to be 6-6.
Right.
They think that they're going to continue right on. They're going to win 9 games this year.
I just don't see how when you lose that much firepower.
And the coach.
Yeah.
Which he didn't coach half the season.
Well, that's true.
Okay, at Michigan, and then UTSA at home at Austin.
That's a win.
September 21st, ULM Warhawks, 7 o'clock on SEC Network or ESPN Plus.
Louisiana Monroe, I think that's another win.
That's win, 21-0 Warhawks. Joking.
See, guys, these are games you're not going to get upset.
Yeah, we don't have to break them down.
No.
They don't have any games for us to really break down, but maybe the Michigan game we could talk about more deeply. Mississippi State, I ain't talking about it. 3:30, hadn't announced the time yet. Then they're off October the 5th.
At Okie. Can they look ahead to Georgia and lose to Okie?
Allstate Insurance Red River Rivalry.
It's not at Okie. It's in the.
It's the Red River. It's the Texas State Fair.
Yeah.
It's at Arlington. And that's at 2:30, ABC or ESPN, guys, 2:30.
Can we give them a toss-up on that?
The SEC's first Red River rivalry.
I think they win it.
The Red River Shootout has never been an SEC game. Just think about that for a second.
Never. No.
But October the 19th, 2:30 or 7, they come home for this one, Dean.
Georgia.
Now let's be fair. Now let's do what we did with everybody else. So this is how you figure this stuff out. Now, who's Georgia play the week before? I'm fixing to tell you.
And he's good at this.
Georgia is going to play when they have to go to. Georgia's going to have to go to Texas, but the week before they're going to have probably a late game at home versus Mississippi State. But
so they're going to be probably more than likely not going to be real beat up. Mississippi State's not supposed to be very strong.
But will Georgia be undefeated? Because they're going to be at Alabama 2 weeks before, and then they have homecoming the week before. They got, I done told you that they scheduled Auburn for homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Woof! That is
Georgia might not be undefeated.
Is that not a shot?
Yeah.
Is it? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
You don't. I mean, homecoming games like, hey, bro, if they don't fire Auburn up, they ain't got.
I don't know why they did that unless they just couldn't.
Sometimes you can't help it. And I'm going to play a little mean here, but if you ain't got a pulse, you're not a Auburn fan or a player. That would make me mad.
Yeah, that's usually not done.
It's the South's oldest rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And you schedule me for homecoming? Oh, bro, I'm fixing to tear the house down. I would be fired up.
Yeah, that's pretty
right,
brutal.
Let's go back to Texas. So Texas has Mississippi State the week before, pretty much cakewalk.
And they got the big rivalry with Oklahoma, and then Georgia.
To Georgia. So they beating Georgia?
I think it's a toss-up. I think they can.
It's at Texas. And Georgia's and Texas is coming off of the Red River game, which is smoke show last year.
They're going to be looking for revenge there. I don't know. I'm telling you.
They're going to be unfocused, and Georgia's going to come into town there. And I don't know, man.
I think it could go either way.
I'm going to say this off the mic because I don't want to share this news right now. Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, if
I read those lips,
if Texas wins this game, I'm not going to come on the show Sunday and go, holy crap, I can't believe what I just saw.
No, gosh, no.
But I don't know if some Georgia fans, realistically, Birds, please let me know. If y'all lose this game, are you going to be very shocked?
I wouldn't think they would be.
Because they may be this may be like number 2.
This may be a top 10 matchup.
Top 4.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, this is probably going to be.
I think it 100% will be a top
5.
15.
No. What?
No, I'm talking about both teams in the top 15.
Yeah, they're being both in the top 5. Texas and Georgia, they're going to be preseason in the top 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm looking for maybe Georgia to have a loss before this.
Right. And
I don't think Texas will.
That may put them at 6. This could be a top 6 game.
Well, yeah.
Number 6 versus number 2. Big game.
I don't think Texas loses, though. I don't think they lose to Michigan or Oklahoma. Sorry.
Hey, we walk it like we talk it. All right, they're going to go at Vanderbilt, win off. That's a loss. Idle Monster got him.
Well, they got him again.
Now, let's get to the last part of it. November the 9th at 11 o'clock, ABC and ESPN. Gators are headed to Texas.
Well, what me and Matt's decided that out of those 8 games that the Gators have that are brutal, that they're going to win at least 2 or 3 of them. But is Texas going to be one of them? I don't think so. In Texas.
No, not at. I just don't.
Okay.
By God, if Billy does, he may save his job because this may be his last game. You heard it here first.
It could be.
If he loses this game, they'll say, "All right, you're done."
Yeah, because that's going to put him at about 4-5 or 4-6. Then he's got Ole Miss. Then they go to Arkansas.
Win.
Kentucky comes to. I think Kentucky's going to be very good, but I don't think. If it was at Kentucky, I might could lean more towards Kentucky.
We're unsure about Vandergrift. I get it.
But
for Kentucky,
not in Austin.
I'm not real unsure about Vandergrift at Kentucky. I've watched him play a lot. Watched his high school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't cover him. He's from over this way on the East Coast, over here, Georgia area.
Do you think Kentucky can beat him? I would if it was at home. I don't think so there.
How good was their offensive line?
Kentucky's.
Yeah.
I got everybody back.
Guys, I'm just going to
5
say.
and their backups. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Look,
Kentucky's got everybody that was on the roster back. I mean, pretty much, except for their running back and quarterback.
I'll put it this way, and we'll let you finish with Kentucky and A&M. These last 4 games, they're not going undefeated in that last stretch.
I don't think so.
They're not going undefeated in that last stretch.
Mm-mm.
They're not. Texas will lose.
To somebody.
This will be one of their losses because we got them pretty much winning most of these other games.
Yeah. And then we've got A&M at A&M, which is a rivalry game rekindled. It's not a rivalry game here lately.
November 30th.
What, in the last 11, 12 years, they said? Or 15?
Texas A&M 2011.
Okay, 13 years. All right. So, and I've got Texas going 11-1 or 10-2. Now, most of that's because of the schedule. Georgia and Kentucky are their toughest opponents. They go to Michigan, but Michigan lost everybody or lost a lot. Oklahoma is a neutral site. I'm not really impressed with A&M. They go there, but I just don't think their schedule's tough. I think it's out of all the schedules we've studied, which will be 14 now, right?
Yep.
It's the easiest one.
It ain't much. It's about as good as Ole Miss's.
I think it's easy. Yeah, Ole Miss did have a.
Yeah, Ole Miss like they don't play. They play Tennessee, don't play Bama, don't play. I mean,
Texas don't play. Tennessee don't play Alabama.
Texas
don't play Ole Miss.
Texas. All the big.
I got Georgia and Kentucky.
They got Georgia.
Yeah,
and Oklahoma, if you want to count, because it is a rivalry.
I think Kentucky's going to be ranked, but Kentucky's got such a tough schedule; they may be done by then. That's
the thing. And if they're not healthy, if they got their starting right tackles out,
yeah,
that's the problem.
I got Texas at 10.5. I think they'll go 10-2. I'm saying I'm 10-2. I'm doing 10.5.
I go along with
that. Okay, but
10-2.
I don't think they're not going 8-4, y'all. Y'all can forget that.
No. I ain't gonna do that. No.
And don't come on here tonight and go, dang, Texas gonna find out what this SEC is all about. 7-5. That's not gonna happen, y'all.
They don't even play. The first SEC team they play is the 28th of September. Is the first SEC
their 5th game.
And it's Mississippi State.
Who's not going to be very strong. They may be in 2 years, but it's not going to be this year.
Their first real good SEC game will be at the Texas State Fair against Oklahoma.
And I'm telling you, they're gunning for them because of what happened last year.
And Georgia is not going to not show up in Arlington. Am I right?
That's going to be a big game. Guys, mark that down on your calendar. Georgia and Texas. What is the date for that? Did you see? It's 1, 2,
October
3,
the
7th.
I think it was October 9th.
That's going to be a big one.
Is that right after Oklahoma?
Well, we're predicting it's going to be 2 top 6 teams.
Yes, no doubt. They both could be undefeated.
Possibly. And
Georgia
at
would
worst, both of them's going to have 1 loss.
Yeah. Not unless Oklahoma beats them the week before at the Red River game.
I just don't think so.
And is Bama beat Georgia, or Georgia beats Bama a few weeks, because they
I think
play
that's
early.
a toss-up.
So they play early.
Is that Georgia's first? Is that Georgia's toughest game? Well, Georgia's got Clemson, which I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't sweat about that in late at night.
That's your game of the. Georgia's got some good matchups this year. Georgia got a tough schedule. Guys, right now, I mean, y'all don't turn on me, but I've got LSU. I've got Texas and Ole Miss being better than anybody in the conference.
Well, because their schedules ain't bad.
No, their schedules aren't bad.
And they got their quarterbacks back. And they got all their offensive linemen back. And they got a good running game.
They do. And
it's a recipe. If you want a recipe to win, it's what? Bring back our coach, get our quarterback back. Not just a quarterback. Dean, yours is starting his third year. Jackson Dart, third year.
And played before.
Offensive line, pretty good. Run the ball, yes.
So here it is. Right now. I mean, we're going to end up, I'm telling you, Ole Miss and Texas are going to be our favorites to be the top 2. Then it's going to be Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee.
Georgia and Alabama will have something to say about that.
Then we got LSU right behind them in Kentucky. And everybody else, we got Auburn okay.
Yeah, they win 7, 8 games.
A&M okay. Missouri okay. And then everybody else is just.
Yeah, Mississippi State, Vandy, no. Sorry, guys.
Arkansas.
South Carolina.
And I don't know. I've looked at Alabama and Georgia's schedule. I'll be honest, guys. I don't know if I can say that either one of them go 11-1.
I mean, we'll finish on this.
11-1?
Who do we have, or me? I'm going to say, who do I have at 8 wins or better?
Who do you have at 8 wins or better?
I got right here. I got Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Tennessee.
Ole Miss.
Missouri. Ole Miss. LSU. Texas.
What'd you have Missouri at?
8-5.
Okay, I have Missouri at 7.5.
I think they're going to win 8 or 9. They may win 9 games.
We both had 8.5 for LSU. And Texas? Texas and Ole Miss right now are my highest.
6 out of 16. So that means there's 10 teams left. I deduct the last 3, so that leaves 7.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the 7 that's left that kind of matter, that's going to be teams that's barely going that's
squeak by.
That's going to go bowling.
Which
maybe
Auburn, Florida, South Carolina,
A&M, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Teams not going bowling according to us.
Vandy.
Mississippi State, Arkansas,
and Vandy.
Yeah.
So that's 7. Those 7 teams minus those. The top thrillers are those going to be those 4 or 5 teams. It's going to be Ole Miss, Texas, Alabama, Georgia.
Now we got Florida right on the line, but a lot of that's because of their schedule. Tennessee, I think they'll be all right.
Tennessee's going to come in swinging.
But they're going to be good, and we're looking at them finishing 5th.
But they have Bama at home this year, but they have to go to Oklahoma. And Heupel's returning home. I know, it's been a long time ago. I don't care what you say. A coach that goes back to where he played. And not just played, but he was, I think he was a Heisman guy.
Yeah.
At Oklahoma.
I don't know if he did or not. There's a few years there where it's hazy to me. I didn't know who won it.
Yeah.
He might have.
I don't think he won it.
Check that out. They had a quarterback win it when Stoops was there back in the early 2000s. It might have been Heupel. One of them won it, and one of them won a national championship. So if he didn't win it, Matt, he won the national championship. White won it.
Yeah.
So Heupel won the national championship.
Yeah, 2000 BCS.
Yeah.
Heupel.
So he was definitely their quarterback when they won the thing, which is.
And winning the Heisman Trophy, Florida State's Chris Winkie won it that year.
Chris Winkie.
I ain't thought about him in a while. I do remember him. I don't.
I know they used to make fun of him for being older, but obviously he was okay. Not make fun of him, but be like, this 28-year-old quarterback.
Well, there's some Heisman guys, and I always point out there's some that. Do you have some that you go, no? What do y'all do?
Well, no, Wanky wasn't one of them, was he?
Yeah, I did. I just wasn't a fan. Now I'm not. No, I have. Everybody has opinions.
I think it was just because they were so good.
Yes.
Nobody fooled with them that year. They were pretty dominant.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah.
It wasn't him.
Had old Peter Warwick at receiver.
Jason White at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I actually would have liked, to be honest with you, I liked Heupel when they won it. I thought he was great.
I can't pick him to. And Sam Bradford.
I thought.
Not a fan, man. I
liked him. But
he's a nice guy, but when he went to the pros, and you can't look forward and go, well, his pro career, he bombed out. He didn't do. So I knew he shouldn't have won it. I'm saying before he played pro football, I didn't like the Heisman.
I seen where Jamarcus Russell got fired from his.
Yeah.
What
happened?
I don't know. I clicked on something, and it clicked on something for me to sell something. Sell me something.
Supposedly, these are alleged comments because he ain't been to court and everybody's innocent until proven guilty in this wonderful country. $70,000 check, supposedly he took for himself that was to be given as a donation or something to the school. I don't know, but there was a $70,000 mishandle of money, and it may all be jargon. I don't know. What about RG3? Anybody? RG3 people? Y'all thought he should have got the Heisman? Did not. He beat Oklahoma that night, and they gave him the Heisman.
Well, I knew he'd win it that night. He was kind of in the talk, but that
was good.
That sealed it.
Didn't see it at all. I'd just assume McCarron should have won one before he did.
Yeah, I didn't talk about McCarron much. Maybe a little bit that last year.
Yeah, because he was on a great team.
Yeah,
number one defense for like 2-3 years straight.
I was kind of shocked that Ingram won it. I thought Ingram had a good year. Great year.
Toby
Gerhardt. There just wasn't. I'm not taking nothing away from Ingram, but there wasn't a lot of
a wow guy.
No, there was not.
But when Henry won it, it was like, oh, there's no doubt. He just destroyed everybody.
No problem with that.
I don't care who he played for.
Well, what helped Ingram out was going on national TV and rushing for about 250 yards. South Carolina was pretty good when Clowney played there.
Spurrier throwed his hat.
Yeah,
he throwed that hat.
I personally think that got Ingram in the talk.
Yeah. Well, they went in that Wildcat.
Yeah.
Remember? He went down the field with it, went down the field.
And he had a bad game his last game against Auburn. Auburn stopped him.
They did. He didn't even have 100 yards.
No, but he did good in the national championship game, which he kind of redeemed himself.
Went off against Texas.
Yeah. Him and Richardson. But
so who's some other Heisman guys that I didn't? Gino Torretta.
I think he won it easily, though, didn't he?
But Bama made him look so bad. He hadn't played nobody. And people were saying, I remember the older people, me being around, said, well, Miami ain't really played nobody good. Then he picked him. How many times did he get picked? Did he get picked 7 times in that game?
I think it was 5.
5? Okay, yeah. I thought 7.
They might have had 7 turnovers.
They wouldn't even a match. It was a bad game.
I mean, T got 1, Langham got 1, Willie Gast, and one of their Nickelback got 2. It was Nickelback. We mention them every week on here.
Not a sponsor, but could be. We'll open up with you music.
Come on, Nickelback. Just send us $10,000.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll take it. I'd take.
I didn't like Eddie George winning it, not because of Eddie George. I thought Tommy Frazier should have won it.
See, I didn't. I wasn't a big Frazier guy.
Because, they were just so ridiculously good. And they were just good.
Yep.
Now, George put up the numbers to win it. And I wasn't big on Charles Woodson winning it. I think Charles Woodson's a great player. I thought Peyton Manning should have won it.
That was a lot of politics won't help Charles win. Does Charles deserve? Gosh, absolutely. He's probably one of the best football players to ever play.
One of the best NFL players to ever play.
Guys, he was like Dez could play some.
What, he had 66 interceptions in his pro career?
And he was before Deion and them.
Yeah, yeah.
These guys were playing both ways.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
Please go what? Rocket Ishmael?
Yeah, Rocket.
Man, there's some Heisman winners you go.
I would like to see him there.
Yeah, that's some that, and there was no problem with Reggie Bush winning it.
No,
no problem with that.
No, not really. Or Burrow. I mean,
no,
obviously Henry.
No, he done
Devontae Smith. I didn't have no problem with that. I mean, how could you?
Well,
Caught 130
I know,
passes.
but that was another year of like, well,
Who else you want to
who
give it?
else we're gonna give it to? You know, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't.
Daniels, I thought he should have won it.
Talking about that, this year, have you seen how many? Like, just think about what we've been through.
Yeah.
What we talked about. Guys, tell us too. The quarterbacks, because there's this class coming in. There's not a. You can go look on 2025 list. There's not a lot of quarterbacks coming in. High level. There's some good a lot of 4-star. Not a lot of 5-star quarterbacks coming in the class of 25 or 26. This is the year of the quarterback. This happens every once in a while. Just think about all of them that's playing.
Do you think the quarterback will definitely win the Heisman this year?
Well, just think about it. Yeah. Who's going to be the number one pre? It's Howard is going to be the QB at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Number 2 guys.
Gabriel's going to be up there. Ewers.
Gabriel at Oregon. Beck at Georgia.
Milrow
at Bama.
You already said Ewers.
So, and those guys are not just. They've been playing a while.
I can't pronounce his name, but the guy at Arizona's back.
Yeah.
He's good. He's Hawaiian. He's got a Hawaiian name.
Uyunglele, he's at Florida State. He's been playing a while. I
think you're right about him, though. I don't know that he's elite. I think Ewers and Beck and all them's better than Uyunglele.
I do. I'm sorry. Florida State. Just do. Yeah, I just think he's better.
I mean, I'm going to go top 4. This is hard to do because the SEC's so big now. And, Ewers, Beck, Milrow, and Dart. That's got to be, I would guess. It's got to be your top 4, don't it?
Well, they love Gabriel now. He scored high. I'm
talking about top 4 in the SEC.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Now, nationwide, Gabriel's probably 1 or 2. Because he was the highest returning quarterback, and their scores, how they do passing percentage and touchdown to interception ratios, and they do all that math. Which, talking about math, did you hear that? LeBron James has schools up north.
No, I did not.
He built some schools up north.
Oh yeah. We got 162 million.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah, a billion. His schools that he built, which is a fantastic thing, and I think LeBron's really seems like a stand-up guy, a good father, been with the same woman since I guess high school, nearly whatever.
Yeah,
good dad. Never hear nothing bad. Never.
Oh no.
So I don't mean to knock the guy, but his school, he needs to go hire him some new teachers because none of the kids passed the math test, like the state math exam stuff. They all failed.
Oh gosh. But is that normal for that area?
Probably. Was
this up in the Akron area?
Yeah. Okay. And that's the part that the news people don't add, and it's not fair.
They don't add that they fail it every year.
Because it's a terribly poor place.
Well, if you remember that movie Lean on Me, where Morgan Freeman come in and took that school over. It's up in New Jersey. And they kept firing people because their test scores were so bad.
Yeah.
Their test scores were bad every year. Yeah. He actually got them up to par.
I know this ain't football, but, it says locker room sports talk and more. Here's the and more.
We can do an and more.
Have you seen Delivery Man?
Yes. With Vince Vaughn. Yes, of course I have.
Pretty good. Never seen it until today. Yeah,
he has 2,000 kids.
533 kids. 533.
He had 533. Oh, I thought it was more than that. He was a donator. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good movie.
It was a good movie.
I mean, he's always funny in his movies, but that was a little more.
Some funny parts to it.
That was a little more
serious.
More serious than I thought.
We're seeing Coach Prime on TV. They gonna be okay?
Nah, I don't think so.
Same schedule.
I think they'll be better.
They're gonna win 8.
No, 6.
6. Oh, dang.
I think I'll have to look more closely at it, and just to make a educated guess.
Because as we've done, we'll finish the SEC week after next when we come back. We're off next week, so that's why we can stay on. We'll stay on Shoot the Breeze with y'all a little bit tonight. I'm hungry though.
Yeah, I gotta go get something to eat.
But we ain't gonna be on next week.
No, yeah.
So Colorado.
I won't right over here one night. Colorado, I think 6-6. I think they'll be better just because I think their conference is better. You know, the Big 12 the Pac-12 was loaded last year.
See, people, I don't think everybody realized how good the Pac-12 was last year.
Probably the best they've been in years.
And who come out of that conference and
Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, Washington played for national championship.
Arizona was fantastic.
Alabama gets his coach, and everybody thinks it's a joke. It ain't like you got the coach from the last team in the Big 12.
Well, you had 2 top 5 teams.
The ACC. Who was the worst team in the ACC? Boston College.
Or no, it wasn't Wake. Maryland. No, probably Boston College, I guess.
So if Bama would have hired the coach from Boston College, you'd go, well, I don't know. He's probably not real good. But if you take the coach from the team that won the best conference, probably besides the Big Ten, because they won it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously. But, so, Colorado's coming into a good conference. They're going to have to battle around with Utah. And I done told you about Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
we're talking about that. What was the kid's name? Robinson II? Heisman dark horse.
Oh, yes. The running back. Yeah.
No, Colorado finish.
I think he'll go 500. I mean, they got Shador. He's going to be a Heisman.
Do you think he's better than Nico?
No. He might be. No.
We don't know. We've seen Shador play a lot, and Shador has good numbers. I mean, he's a top, number-wise, he's a top 5 quarterback. Numbers-wise, passing yards and stuff. But we ain't seen Nico play. I don't know. I can tell you how good Gabriel is at Oregon. We've seen him play at Oklahoma for years.
Yeah.
He is good. I don't think he's no better than Ewers or Jackson Dart.
No.
Why am I just not? Have you noticed? If I just got a problem with quarterbacks, you know how I am about Dart. I think he's great. I set him higher than the other ones. I don't really like the Gabriel. I'm definitely not a Ewers fan. I like Milroe, but he's more of a runner. He's going to be a Jalen Hurts
you
type
like
guy.
Beck a little bit, don't you?
Man, he picked a bad day to have a bad day against Alabama.
Yeah, he didn't do great, but they
just didn't do good, man.
He did the first drive.
Well, anybody can put together one drive.
But was that because McConkey and Bowers were banged up?
So how good is Georgia really going to be this year? Them guys ain't there. Now Georgia's going to reload, and they've had a lot of good recruiting classes. Yeah. But if Georgia goes 9-3, I'm not going to.
I wouldn't think that it's time to fire Kirby.
No, don't start that stuff now. Y'all got to hang on.
They got a tough schedule.
It is.
I mean, this is the second week or third week in a row we've talked about circle this game of the week, and it's Georgia, Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, Texas. Guys, they go to those places, all 3 of them.
And we're doing Georgia and Alabama.
They're not going to win all 3 of them.
When we come back.
Sorry.
When we come back the week after.
Do you think they're going to win all 3 of them? No. At Alabama, at Ole Miss, and at Texas. I crown them now if they win all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Plus, they go to Florida, or they got to go to Jacksonville.
Yes.
And I heard they might renew that.
I don't know. I did hear. See, they're trying to get rid of it because, you can't have kids at the games. You can't bring recruits because it's not neither.
I had a Georgia fan tell me the other day they're really working to keep that there.
But it's not nobody's home game, so you can't have recruits. Kirby's trying to dump it.
Yeah.
Let's just do home and away. Stop doing in the middle because they can't have recruits visit.
Just let her have recruits visit.
Yes, just do that. Darn, the NCAA is so flipping stupid, man.
Nah, that's kind of getting
silly. That's dumb. You can't have recruits on at the game because it's not a home. Well, it's somebody's home game because somebody's wearing white or red or orange,
Well, it's kind of like
somebody has to flip.
I compare that to a lot of meals. I don't know if you do this, and this ties into what they got this 90-day period where if anything goes wrong, you're just fired. Well, I was late. Why? The train run over my car. It don't matter. You're done.
You're done.
I backed my Hyster into a car, but the brakes are out on Hyster. It don't matter.
You're done. Buddy.
Come on, man. You got to use common sense on some of these things.
The Andy Griffin rule.
The Andy Griffith rule. Andy Griffith rule.
The sheriff without a gun.
Yeah. And that's one I think they probably could use some common sense on. What's the difference? You go to Gainesville, so you can go if they go to Gainesville, but you can't go if they go to Jacksonville.
let the recruits come the game,
Or just don't have them at one game.
And,
Well, no, you probably can't do that.
and you can leave it at games. Well, Kirby just wants to move it at home and away so he can have recruits at game. He's trying to build a dynasty. He's trying to catch old Daddy Saban. And nobody's going to do that.
But is that going to hurt him to not have that game? I mean, that one game.
It's the biggest game on their schedule. Well, mostly.
Most popular.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game once they hire Lane Kiffin down there.
It's
I was supposed to tell
usually.
everybody that. I heard the.
Oh, you already knows. Kiffin's
breaking,
coming in.
breaking news. Lane Kiffin.
Have you heard that's what's going to be the
Florida Gators? They want him.
Yeah.
And he's not. He can't. He can't. I just don't think he can win a chip at Ole Miss.
No. I mean, if he's going to do it, he better do it this year.
I just think there's just some things in college football. There's these traditional powerhouses, and we've talked about the best high school players in the country. Then we've talked about teams that spend the most money on stuff, the teams that make the most money. We've talked about that. And it's always USC, Notre Dame, Texas, Alabama. It's just those teams.
Right. Michigan, Ohio State.
Ole Miss has never been mentioned in that.
No. And it's usually those teams that win it.
And you get a sprinkle here and there sometimes. You get a Clemson.
Yeah.
You get an Auburn. You get a more recently Ohio State back from now. They've won it some back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
But you get sprinkles of those teams. But just the teams that's been in Texas ain't won in
Since
20,
Vince Young.
15, 17, 18 years.
I'm trying to think of the last time just a
20
team
years.
that wasn't a
20. It's been 20 years.
big name, didn't we?
It was 06 when wasn't it?
Texas.
Or was it January of 6?
Yeah.
They beat USC. That's when I bought that hat, by the way. That's why I was pointing at it.
I'm trying to think of the last time somebody won it that wasn't
Just not your normal winner.
a big one. Was probably Clemson
Yeah.
when Watson and them won.
Yeah. They beat Bama on that illegal pick play.
Yeah. Okay. But now Clemson was good.
He admitted it, Dane.
wasn't. Yeah.
After the game, he said, well, that old rub rat we rubbed on. I'm like,
That ref's like, we ain't calling
he's not
that.
calling it. Bama, y'all won so many. Shut up. You've got 34 national
Well,
championships.
and some people got on Nick Saban and said, get out of that coverage and that. They're going to do that. Some people faulted them for not changing the man to man. But
That's why DeBoer is going to take it over, and he's going to win.
see, if they played a zone,
6.
but you don't, 90% of teams play man. on the
DeBoer's
goal line.
winning 6 at Bama.
So if they've been in
I'm
the
joking.
if they've been
I
in the
think you'll get
zone
one.
when that guy did the slant and the one guy did the out, they'd have both been sitting there.
Well, somebody would have been over there, but the guy,
Somebody talked to him and said, look, they're in man.
that guy peeled off and peeled back in and throwed his shoulders in his knees
Yeah.
to stop him. And it's illegal.
You're supposed to
do-
run a route.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
They showed it. The ref was standing. It was back of the end zone.
Yeah.
But, you won. Bama's won so much. Nobody's going, darn it. That ain't fair for Alabama.
No, we didn't see Notre Dame lose because of that, though. They did that on the last play. Notre Dame did against
USC.
Yeah, and they just called it and took the game. I mean, they didn't take the game from them. It's the right call.
Was it USC or Stanford?
Florida State, wasn't it? Early in the year. It might not have been Florida State. No, it was Notre Dame and Michigan. All right.
Colorado defense should be better with Warren Sapp. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Arch Griffin.
Wait
Who?
just a second.
Gary Beeben. Now, Jeff, you telling us now, you're just a few years older. Woodson was the last defense player win. Well, the defense player ever win again?
No.
I don't think so. But it's got to stop being a quarterback, guys. God dang it. Now, that's the Maxwell Award. The Maxwell Award's for the quarterbacks. Come on. It don't,
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be a quarterback this year.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I
Not unless
agree
our
too.
dark horse guy from Oklahoma State wins it.
I agree. It could, possibly.
But they'll have to win the Big 12.
Exactly.
They're going to have to beat Utah
Uh-huh.
and Kansas State. All right, let's get off here.
Yeah, I got to go. I got to pick up something here.
All right,
I'm getting orders.
Y'all have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be back week after, which the date will be on July the 14th. And
14th.
Yep, and then that Saturday will be on Sunday, and then that coming Saturday will be our media day.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll have all the guys over here.
The 20th.
Easy Street.
Yeah.
12 o'clock noon.
Always fun.
If you're still watching, local people. Next Sunday, July 7th, will not be on because the 1st through the 5th, nothing's going on.
No.
Everybody's gone home and visiting, and high school stuff shut down. Coaches are leaving. But the 8th, they'll all be back. That next day after, we're not going to be on the 7th, but the 8th.
Yes, they'll all be starting back.
At Spring Garden at 6 that evening. So
on
the 9th.
Oh, the 9th?
The Tuesday, Cedar Bluff will be over. And then I think Coosa's having something the 11th. They're going to have a big camp down there. And
the 11th?
And then Cherokee County's having one, I think, that week of our media day. I think Sylvania's coming over.
Oh, I have to go to that.
Yeah.
It'll be midday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but at Spring Garden, 6 at night. It's going to be in the cooler part of the day. Cedar Bluff's going to the garden. So that's kind of some stuff going on. And we'll kill it later. And we'll be back. Y'all enjoy the 4th week.
Yeah, definitely.
I think everybody's did their celebrating this Saturday.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know about next Saturday.
I think.
Fireworks around here.
Surely not.
Friday. Be some around here. Fireworks Thursday, Friday.
I mean, does the party go on after the 4th when it's on the Thursday? Do you go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday too?
You can't go the week out.
I mean, I was 20 years old one time, but I'm not knocking anybody. I did it too, but sometimes that partying's got to end.
I didn't. I do it every day.
So we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's 9 days. Come on, man.
No, we do it all summer. But I mean, I was 20.
Hey, and I remember them days. You know, you're going to Florida the next day for a week, and you're out partying around here the night before.
Yeah, you got to get ready to go.
It makes no sense.
And then we come home.
You look back at now, and you're like, what are you doing?
And then right before we got back, we got to bring the party back home. We partied all another week when we got home.
Yeah. Hey, go rest for a little while. I'll be back there having a get-together over at Chris Rico's here at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, go shower up, and I'll
we
be
just
back.
got in.
Got to roll, baby. All right, y'all have a good week. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. And happy Independence Day. Thank you for all the brave folks that stuck up for us and knew that we had brighter days ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.